the gist of the show is like, they show different aspects of this whole ballpark. They talk to some of the players, like, an old man he's 35. He's that.
You. He's an old man. He's 35.
Well, in baseball terms, he's
a player on the field.
He's a player.
Okay, I thought this was just a guy in the stands. I'm
no,
he's calling us out. This
sorry.
fucker.
So because they go to like when a player,
we get it.
All right, we got it. Move on, Devin. What's up, people? Welcome to our little traveling podcast shack we call Taku Otaku, where we serve the hottest takes in anime and video games. I'm your host for this episode, Ray, aka Sourdough Shonen, and today it is our Spring Anime 2025 preview episode. So we're going to be covering 9 different shows from this anime season, and out of those 9 shows, only 3 will get the golden ticket and be passed on to get full review, but also there might be a 4th sneaky review, brand new for the podcast. So, ooh, not just 3, but 4 official full spoiler talk episodes down the line come spring 2025. So if you're looking for what you'd be watching on this season, you've come to the right podcast episode. And thankfully, it's not just the Ray Show, but it's the full anime crew here today with me on this episode of Taku Taku. And of course, we have Frank. Hello, Frank. How is my JRPG master doing this week?
I'm okay. I'm wondering if it's rude to play or not, while I do the podcast or not. But I'm not.
Oh, thank you for being a good podcast host. He's not doing that ASMR smacking on sandwiches with the front of the mic.
But he's staring at the screen like just like drooling. Like, come on, one more run.
He's trying. He's been 100%.
I'm just really into the game right now.
He's into it. He, like I said, he loves his JRPGs. I'm not lying. There's no hyperbole going on here. He's so much. He's willing to put it down, potentially not guaranteed, for the podcast. So there you go, it's Frank. And of course, my other, I was gonna say victim in crime, but that's not
that's cool.
Victim of my humor, perhaps is more accurate. But of course, my brother Miles. Hello, brother. How are we doing?
I'm doing okay. We're slowly getting ready. The season changed. I guess we're going back into other games. So looking forward to next week when we're back in the same boat.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Sorry. I'm ready for this moment.
Huh?
You're ready?
Ready. I'm ready.
Oh, okay. First, I thought he was sitting with Ray, and I'm like, wait, I thought I was Ray. Wait a minute. Who am I?
I was trying to do a haiku and pen, and I failed. I'm sorry.
This isn't the porn. You got to do the snapping fingers with the hat and the cigarette, brother.
The beret, right?
The beret.
You had the beret and the bongo drums.
And I could say, Colonel, what are you doing with that poetry? And with that, I guess that's our intro for this podcast. Stellar, gentlemen. One man is already ready to tune out, and the other one, I can't understand what the hell he's saying. So great. Another fresh episode of Taku Taku, as always.
Hey, I argue that's what people come here for.
Exactly. Why else are they here? I have no idea why they're here. And I thank you for being here, though. Thank you so much. And you could like and subscribe to this very podcast on all your favorite podcast apps out there, by the way. If you didn't know, if you just happened to stumble upon this, we're probably on every single podcast catcher and various apps out there, so please check us up on your favorite app and like and subscribe over there. We are a little still fudging little podcast looking for new subscribers, so thanks for stopping by. But with that, gentlemen, before we dive into the big spring season, we gotta first let everyone know what we've been doing in our little daily lives on every episode of the podcast, or every other episode, or every other week, I should say, for the podcast, and let them know what we've been watching and playing. And you know what? I'm gonna just steal the mic and just hog it for myself, and I'll go first. Gentlemen.
I like how the delusion that you were gonna give us a chance. You said, "Yeah, no."
I thought about it and I went, "No." What I have to say is more important.
After how we started, he's like, "Nah, screw these."
No, I got this.
One's not paying attention. The other one's mumbling.
As always, gentlemen, get on my back, gentlemen. I got you.
I'll carry this. This is not the Ray Show, right, Ray? This is not the Ray Show.
Definitely not. Sourdough Shonen /YouTube.com.
The Sourdough Shonen podcast
featuring his friends
and friends,
etc. Shonen friends, Sourdough Shonen and friends. All right, but anyway, so my week, what I've been up to since our last episode of the podcast. So I have been playing a little bit more of Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door remastered over on the Nintendo Switch. And now I have, I think, 5, if I remember the lucky number of the Crystal Star. What
The
are they
Crystal Stars.
That's what they are. It's always some Mario
Well, it's not
mumbo
the Star
jumbo.
Sprites. That's the first one.
Yeah, very different. I'll have you know, they're very different.
Guess what? You're Mario and you're collecting stars.
Who would have thunk? So yeah, I've been playing that, and I ventured through Twilight Town. Not to be there. Midna wasn't there. I was a little disappointed. Won't lie. I was kind of hoping for to bump into her, but just didn't happen. But I did meet a new party member who is kind of a shadow witch? Question mark.
Oh, Vivian, right?
Yes, Vivian. And who did I find? We found Mario's evil doppelganger. Without getting into too many spoilers.
What? Shadow Mario?
Yes, basically. It's pretty neat. Different. I do like it's a bit of a fake out early on because it seems like, oh, I just beat this level and sweet, I got the star. And it turns out, oh, it's a little bit different from the previous adventures so far in this journey. So I did like the bit of a twist and turn there, but I did overcome my inner demons, perhaps, and was victorious in collecting them stars. And once again, added another member to my team. And luckily, I could put down my timer. I didn't have to like get a special color for my next team member, this or that. But yeah, still enjoying it. Hopefully, between now and the next episode of the podcast, I'll get a little bit deeper into it.
I think you're almost there. I think you have
halfway-ish, maybe at least, maybe a little over.
Yeah, because you have like roughly 5 members now, 5 buddies.
I think that's right.
Shout out to Cooper.
Just like Miles, he's a little shy too. Mm-hmm.
Hey, but I just like his little hoodie.
Little hoodie, there you go. A little comfortable. Speaking about a guy who's wearing a hoodie right now. Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Audio podcast. My apologies.
Great minds think alike.
Indeed. He also likes to hide in his shell sometimes, especially with his anime and waifu pics. He should stay there too.
You know, you always tell me I should put my guard up around here. I got my guard because then here comes these shots.
Gotta make sure, brother, to keep your flower points up.
Yeah.
SP points.
Yeah, SP points. Yeah, I'm going to that show apparently.
Anyway, so yes, that's my journey through 1,000-Year Door. One of the new things I watched this week came from my Netflix subscription.
Oh, there you go.
And I decided to, with slightly regret, but spoilers, I get ahead. I decided to watch the new Devil May Cry Netflix series that came out fairly recently on that old streaming service.
Want to go back to 2000s, brother?
They sure wanted to go back to the 2000s with the soundtrack selection in that series. Okay, here's the thing. Devil May Cry. What's up, Frank?
Oh, Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry. Dante and Virgil and all them fools from the PS2 days.
I was thinking Daredevil.
Oh, Daredevil. That's... we did talk about Daredevil. I'll see. Maybe Miles will bring up Daredevil.
Yeah.
But no, Devil May Cry is back, and it turns out this time they're going to fill in all the lore and details that they never bothered covering in any of the multiple games in the franchise history.
The one that has nothing in it, those games?
And that's the problem, is there's never... The story in Devil May Cry is, once there was a demon world, and there was a great champion called Sparta, and Sparta died probably, but he had 2 sons, one named Dante and Virgil, and Dante, he fights for the humans as a vigilante, one-liner quip little asshole guy, and shoots a lot of guns with a big sword, and you wombo combo people to get the highest score points. And also, it used to be Resident Evil 4. Look it up, kids. So yeah, that's the thing, is it never had a lot of story and lore to build on, but in this Netflix series, boy oh boy, did they really try to paint a picture, I guess, in this world that's been pretty emptied. And sometimes their colors and paintbrush strokes were interesting,
When
let's say.
they didn't follow the lines, they kind of like a little bit here, a little bit there.
Well, they were very determined to make a very parallels to the early 2000s, like when this series first started, once again on the PS2, because we're in New York, United States. I guess, question mark, in still the early 2000s or mid 2000s, because here's almost President Bush, and here's almost what's Cheney out here, and by the way, he's played by Batman, Kevin Conroy.
How?
Which is a very mixed feeling for myself as a man who loves.
How? Wait, what? How? Well, I guess I'm assuming that
yes, he recorded this before he sadly passed away. If that's what you mean.
Yeah, because it's like the whole no AI or not.
It just turns out doing animation productions can take a long time, and apparently long enough. So it's a bittersweet note having hearing Kevin Conroy do his Kevin Conroy voice, aka Batman. But this time, he's like I said, he's Dick Cheney, and
Did they give him a gun?
Dick Cheney has a colorful history, let's say. So depending how maybe you vote or see things, you may or may not like this character he plays, especially when it's kind of different from, like I said, Bruce Wayne. So yes, like I said, mixed feelings on that, and it's very much it's the humans versus the demons, and we must get Dante because Dante is the secret to everything. And yeah, so it's a lot of that. And there's Lady from Devil May Cry 3 who shows up. I guess they're really focusing on her versus like Trish, for those who remember the first of the Devil May Cries. So if you're looking for her, spoiler alert, you're not going to find her in Season 1. But you might find other characters from other Devil May Cry games make a appearance and a tease for a Season 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Is it better than the old, speaking of early 2000s, Devil May Cry anime series? I think from Madhouse, if I remember right.
That weird ass looking one?
Yeah, that was really bad. I think this is better than that. So, if you're determined to get your Devil May Cry anime-esque fit, because, this is not really made, I don't know, probably people are calling it the Devil May Cry anime, but it's not really made in Japan, and I would argue if it's not made in Japan, it's not really an anime. But we're getting semantics here. What anime is anime?
What is anime? How is anime?
Exactly, which we're not getting into. But the Netflix version of Devil May Cry is better than that. But if you're hoping for something amazing or crazy, you might be a little bit disappointed. I did find the Castlevania series to be better, and it does have the same showrunner from that series working on this one. But I think they had more focus and had a little bit more potential working the Castlevania universe than the Devil May Cry universe, so I will say that. One last note, it is very funny to me as a person who's played the video games that the person who plays Dante in this version is the same voice actor who plays Nero that shows up in Devil May Cry 4. So it is kind of weird that the same voice actor who plays another pretty important character in the universe play the original main protagonist.
All right, so they're gonna have the guy who was the Dante is gonna be Nero.
That's I don't know if there's flip flopping roles or whatnot, but that was also very weird to hear with my earbuds on, I guess. So yeah, it's okay.
So it's a rolling.
Yeah, there's a lot of licensed music that I guess kind of makes sense for the universe, but at the same time, it seems very
too much. Probably, 'cause I feel like always they never seem to find a good way to blend in music. I feel like look how cool, look at the 2000s.
Well, they do it just because hey, it's the song, and blah blah blah. Which I don't know. I get it and don't get it. It's okay. And then real quickly, I guess it's the little minor thing that kind of relates to the podcast potentially down the line is I'll quickly tell you my heroic tales and
the trials and tribulations.
Indeed, of trying to pre-order a Nintendo Switch online this last week. For those who don't know, the timing of this podcast release or soon to be released, the Nintendo Switch orders went back up for the United States, online mostly. There was the one exception with GameStop in-store pre-orders you could have done on Thursday morning, if I'm not mistaken. But for those out here, West Coast time, at 9 p.m. on Wednesday, they all went up online between Best Buy, Walmart, and Target retailers. No Amazon or anyone else. So it was those three retailers, and it was all pretty much good luck, soldiers, and go out there and see what you can do. I'll tell you right now, fuck Target. Absolutely fuck Target. So I have a Target account with my information, shipping address. I even have a Target credit card, for Christ's sake. So I'm like ready to go. 2 clicks, I need to be away with a Switch in my cart, this and that. Never happened because after I was able to acquire a Switch 2 in my cart, Target went on and be like, where do you live? Who is this? What payment would you like to pay? Just played, I don't know, Amnesia Patient or something with me. And it was quite frustrating. And then even when I finally typed in all the information all over again, it'd be like, no, error. 30 minutes I was trying to get that to leave.
Well, it is Target though, right?
To leave with my shopping cart with my Switch 2 intact. Never happened. Absolutely no chance. I'll tell you who was better. Walmart. Which I would have lost. Let me tell you, gentlemen, I would have lost money on that bet if I thought Walmart was going to be somehow the savior in this. Walmart, they went up pretty much at midnight, and they had a weird, slightly weird but coherent system of, okay, you're in the line, here's a timer, And this time we're gonna release the Switch to you, and you have a chance. Like I think it said you had 10 minutes to officially like check out in the cart. I waited. It said 10 minutes. It took closer to 30.
Close
but
enough.
when finally I officially got added to my cart, I just put in my information that I already, of course, stored because I was ready for this big launch event and was able to check out. No problem. So kudos for Walmart.
Yay, so we're now our owners of a Switch. We're now on the cutting edge, brother.
So this was probably around, this was, because like I said, it came out, started at 9 o'clock, the fiasco. And probably by, this is like 9:20, 9:25. And around 9:30, Best Buy decided to show up to the party late.
Wow. What I miss?
Yeah, pretty much. Which is a good thing, bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a similar system where Walmart is, where it's like as soon as you were able to refresh the page and add it to your cart, they had a bit of a waiting list to wait, hold the line, stay here, don't refresh the page, and we're going to try to add this to your cart. And they were probably a little bit better because it was probably more like 10, 15-minute wait. But it did go through, and I was able to secure another pre-order through Best Buy as well. Relatively less hassle-free, relatively speaking.
And this is you got the bundle, right, brother?
Yes. These are both with the Mario Kart bundle, $500 bundle, because I figured, well, I'm saving $30 if I buy the bundle set versus buying Mario Kart a la carte. So that's what I went for. And so sure enough, I dedicated 2 pre-orders. Here's the 2 mindset. One, I'm paranoid one's going to get canceled. So that's why you get 2. And it just so happens if they just happen to go through, then me and Miles both get to enjoy a Switch 2 on relatively close to launch.
And then we could go play Mario Kart and wait until it's actually something comes out.
Hey, I'm playing Breath of the Wild. I'll tell you that right now. I'm paying that $10 and getting Breath of the Wild all over again.
Wait, brother, don't we need like the online membership? Oh, you want to buy it out like
$10. Take my $10 and leave me alone, Nintendo.
No, it's like tangent there. Like I'm not surprised that they're charging. Well, I guess not surprised. I guess I'm a little irked the fact that like certain games you had to pay $20 to upgrade, like for like the Kirby game.
Yes, but you're getting the upgrade version along with like DLC for the game.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a mixed bag. More on that maybe if we do talk about this on the podcast. But I'm trying to blast through my week.
Yeah,
but don't worry, Frank. I didn't leave you out because it just so happens after I secured that second Switch 2, I quickly went back to Walmart by chance to see if maybe there was anything left over. And supposedly, I was able to also secure a non-Mario Kart edition of the Switch 2. So perhaps, Frank, if everything goes through, I secured enough for the podcast, gentlemen.
Ooh, we're a future forward over here.
So yes, I've been a good podcast producer, you could say, I guess, this week.
Just don't ask them where knives are at. Don't ask who died.
It was a little frustrating. Like I said, I hate Target. I really hate Target. I'm gonna think twice before I go to my next Target.
Well, and they're at the same Target gave you like an anime twice. Remember?
That is true. They did hook us up with the Gundam Wing box set. That's a story for another time, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yes, that was my quick, short abbreviation version of the Switch 2 pre-order wars. And boy, oh boy, it was a little hectic.
You got your scars, brother?
Apparently, my understanding is the best and easiest way to do it was to just go online like an hour or two the next day before GameStop's open and do an in-store pre-order. And it sounded like everyone who wanted one was able to get one as long as they showed up pretty much around the time the store opened or maybe like an hour or two before the store opened. You didn't have to like overnight it or nothing like that. So
that's half the fun.
So then part of me kind of wanted to do that, but part of me was also like, I'm too lazy.
When will you know if you have it for sure?
June 5th, whenever it comes out, because I don't believe it until it's on my doorstep. So soon as I have it in my hands, Frank, you will know. I will send you the text message.
Your guess is good as mine.
Because sadly I've had things where they said, "Hey, we got you covered, bro. Thumbs up, no problem." And then a week or two before, "Ooh, did we say you had one? Ooh, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that." So we'll see. But in theory, we have 3 locked up for the podcast.
Yeah, we meant you, Nakamura.
Damn it, Persona 4. Damn it. All right, gentlemen. So I will pass the baton over and we'll talk about, see what Frank's up to. Frank, what you been up to since last time here on the podcast?
God, I don't remember. It's been a long time. You guys talked about the Switch, huh?
Yes, we talked a little bit about the Switch 2. I don't know if you took part in all that news blitz.
Oh, yeah. I wrote down some of
Ooh.
Frank thoughts.
Mario Kart was actually piqued my interest.
All right, shoot this guy. This isn't Imposter. This isn't Frank. Everyone knows. Podcast lore knows Frank hates Mario Kart.
Yeah, redhead girls are out.
The worst girls.
No, I just liked the open world part. That should be fun playing with the kids.
Oh, okay.
Rather than beating them, it feels better.
They have a chance.
Metro Prime 4, of course. It looks nice.
That's the good one.
I like that purple's the new theme. I was curious about the red Samus at the end.
Yeah.
So I wonder what's up. Elden Ring, I'll finally get to play it.
Oh yeah.
Hades 2.
Oh yeah.
Very excited about that. I don't know if that means I doubt it. That it'll only come out on the Switch.
I don't think so.
No, I doubt it. Street Fighter 6, but just the amiibos.
Oh.
Just the amiibos.
You know those suckers are $40.
They're
That's
nice.
good enough.
Why do you want some? I need to see them. I need to see what a $40 amiibo looks like.
It looks like a regular amiibo.
I didn't know that, but
shiny.
I hear they're bigger.
They're nice, but I didn't know they were $40.
Yeah, they're up there.
This one's a Daemon Ex Machina, or is it Demon?
I think it's.
I don't know why they added an A there.
I don't know English spelling apparently.
007, kind of excited about that.
I am excited about it, despite there's nothing to see.
More than excited, it's more like I like seeing the trailer. I don't know if I'll get it, but it just reminds me of GoldenEye.
We're getting close to June.
That's
Frank.
true. Can't go wrong.
Bravely Default.
Oh, yeah.
Very excited to get that. Even though I already played it, I'm like, I was just talking to my friend from work, and I told him if he can find me, like, because he likes finding rare games. If he can find me Bravely Second.
Was that hard to find?
Well, for me, any game that's from the 3DS is hard to find.
Oh.
Because, they don't really make them.
That's true. They are. Yeah, I guess you can't walk into Target and buy one. I'll tell you that. As long as you Switch too.
Probably the best game, Hyrule Warriors. I was excited about that one.
Oh, the Age of Imprisonment, right? It's the new one.
Yeah, would be nice, Frank, if they fix each collider.
This time the frame rate will be more than 10.
I could catch up and actually see all the enemies on the screen.
Hey, you know what? They might remake the first one, and you'll be.
They should. I hope they do. Honestly, Frank, I really do. I'll pay that $10.
Oh, 2-pack. Deltarune, kind of, but I kind of feel like I have to play the other game before this one. I'm not sure. It reminds me of
This is ringing a bell for me.
Undertale?
Yes, I feel like I
That's the same creator, I think. No,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, I think so. I don't even know how that worked out.
Borderlands 4. I'm excited. I don't like shooting games, but for some reason I play all the Borderlands.
Oh, that's interesting.
But just a story. And then
I like the
Well,
the Frank lore over here.
Gungeon 2. I thought that one was pretty cool.
Oh, is that like was it Enter the Gungeon? Is that the same people? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, the Devolver.
Yeah,
It's
right.
Devolver.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I'll finally play the Yuffie DLC.
You haven't played that one?
No,
yet.
I was going to, but then because I was playing on the PS5, and I got a little demoralized that all my trophies were like reset. They weren't reset, but like PS5 has its own trophies. And I'm like, no, I was way ahead of this.
Yeah, I could feel that.
Silk Song, Hollow Knight,
You and everyone else.
We're all waiting, Frank. We're all waiting.
Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That one looks cool.
That does look good. Yeah.
That's one to play with the kids. The Bloods.
Oh yes, the Dark Souls,
But
or
Bloodborne? Multiplayer Dark Souls?
Yeah, we'll see how that
Yeah,
works.
the trailer was like, wait, this doesn't look like what I thought it was gonna be.
You're right.
But still interested.
I'm curious.
And surprisingly, Donkey Kong. I'm kind of glad that they didn't announce if you don't count Mario Kart, that they didn't announce like a Mario game. Just because I'm like, you have all these other franchises, like give them some shine.
That makes sense.
Kind of like, oh, Donkey Kong finally back. The thing I like about Donkey Kong is the music. So it looks like it'll have nice music. But other than that, like that wasn't my week, huh? I've just been playing a lot of Xenoblade. Really into that.
Chronicles X.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Xenoblade Chronicles X. Ooh.
Don't want the mechas.
Yeah.
Don't they have mechas or no?
No.
It's harder than I remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
But Frank, you play in hard mode though.
yeah, but I just didn't remember that like
hard mode's hard.
Well, the beginning is hard because it lets you go anywhere, kind of like Breath of the Wild. But have you played it?
A little bit. I do remember that option of
It lets you go anywhere, and like it puts all these ridiculously strong.
right. If you
Bad
don't know,
guys
yeah.
are-
If you go this way,
But then it makes you like you gotta go here, and I'm like, there's no other way to go but through these big monsters, and it kind of like you're kind of like Snake for the first few chapters because you can't beat these guys.
right.
So it's been fun. The story, like I remember, it's not the best, but the gameplay is really fun. And it looks great. The music's great. Other than that, I don't think I've been playing anything else. No, I haven't. I finished Curve. I don't know if I was done.
Oh, you finished it all? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was all right.
How was this last? I think because I'm like a season or two behind from finishing it. How was last season's?
I think the last season was not like the best. It was still okay.
It was okay.
It was okay.
Okay.
But the ending it wasn't bad, but I wouldn't say it was amazing. I think it was kind of like I don't know if this is the right word, Amish. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Anyways, they kind of like talk about Seinfeld a bit. Where they're like, you screwed up the ending. No, that was a good ending. And then what happens?
Oh, homage maybe?
Homage. There you go.
Oh, okay.
What happens to the guy in the end? I won't tell you since you haven't finished it. They just go like, this should have been the ending to Seinfeld. They're like, yeah, it should have.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
But it does give you like a sense of like, oh yes, this is the end. This is the final episode.
Okay.
So, that's that. Not what I thought would happen, but
Right.
what else? I started watching this thing called Wheel of Time.
Wheel of
Some
Time.
guy-
I think it's a very popular novel series.
It's on Amazon? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I saw the ad for it.
It's okay. It's okay. I just don't like the magic parts. Not that it looks crappy. It's just like I don't know. It's just I keep comparing it to like anime, and I'm like, oh, they do it better in anime.
Wow,
Power
man.
ups and stuff like. Other than that, I've just been focusing on the animes,
The homework?
the homework. Xenoblade a lot. Xenoblade's been taking most of my time, and that's it. Sorry to disappoint.
Frank. Only 60 hours? Oh, no, wait a minute.
No, and One Piece started again, so I started watching that.
Oh, yeah, that did pick up again after its little hiatus after 20-something years.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind thinking about that. It's been happening. Sure, they've been stretching out and filler content, this and that, but it has never gone off the air, quotation marks.
Yeah. My brother's wife was like, how many episodes? I'm like, 1,180.
Jesus Christ.
And then she was like, is that as long as Dragon Ball? Oh, way longer.
Yeah, that's like Dragon Ball
What's
three times over.
What's comparable to it? And then I was like, well, maybe
Case
she was like
closed?
Naruto. I'm like,
No, Case Close probably the closest because that's still going.
I was like, well, maybe you have to if you combine Naruto, Bleach, and DBZ.
Yeah, honestly, you'd have to combine those to
Yeah,
get
because
there.
DBZ's like 275, so it's like
yeah.
Yeah, so that was my week or weeks.
Oh, there you go. I need to catch up on the manga and I guess maybe even the anime now. Now that it sounds
there's money now.
there's money now, and I like money. I like money in my animation
I'm
productions.
behind on the manga, but
Big fan.
I did start reading again manga.
Mm.
I've been reading Ippo.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll speaking of long this long ass series, Ippo would also count.
I'm on chapter 1,336, I think.
Oh,
That's
okay,
that's when
that's-
it gets good.
And he's behind.
And I'm behind. There's like 1,400, I think.
Oh my goodness gracious. Ugh, Ippo. One day, perhaps. All right, Frank. Any final thoughts of your weeks?
No. That's it.
All right, then it's time for Miles' turn in the spotlight. So, brother,
It's time for the Mouse week here.
what you been watching or playing, and tell me about all your gacha games, brother.
I have not played Gacha game. That's next week or
Mhm.
next time we're here.
Fair enough.
So I'm almost done playing Lost Judgment. It's in terms of the Yakuza scale, it's not bad as 3. Or it's Yakuza 3, but it's not. It's not. There's like 2 or 3 games above it. It's a lot of circling around. A lot of everybody trying to figure out. No, the plot of the story. You know it. They know it. But you gotta tell Bob over here, and you got to Susie over here what you just found out. So that way, Bob knows that to tell
Everyone
Susan.
knows.
And that way, you could do court. 'Cause,
Objection?
Yeah, because it's weird because he is a lawyer technically, and he tells you that he's a lawyer, but obviously he fights. He's a detective, but he's also a lawyer. But apparently, like Once you get a lawyer badge in Japan, apparently like you're invincible. Apparently,
So Ace Attorney Part 5. Oh, but you never played Part 5.
not yet.
No, 4. 4. 5 is the good one. 4 is the. Meh.
But like apparently, like once you get a pin, if you get a lawyer's pin in Japan, apparently a lot of doors unlock. Apparently, so I didn't get to finish it, so I have to wait until next time to finish that. Thoughts on that. But the game I have been recently playing it because it was on the Xbox Game Pass.
Ooh.
Is Blueprints. So in Blueprints, it's a roguelike puzzle game. So you have you play as a boy who has an uncle who recently passed away, and so he inherits this mansion, this giant, 45-room mansion.
That is Jesus Christ. Is this Spencer's mansion? Whose mansion is this?
It's a very nice mansion.
Look out for the hunters in there.
And so his uncle gave him a letter, like after his will says like, you may inherit this mansion once you find a 46 room, a hidden room in this mansion. So, but you have to find a way to access it, and then the mansion's yours. So it's weird because you start. So it's kind of like a roguelike because you start every day you get 50 steps to walk in this mansion. So you start in the beginning, like the beginning hallway, I guess, with a bunch of locked doors.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 50 steps. So every door, when you click on the door to open it, three cards pop out of what room you want to enter in. Which they give you various things like they give you like rubies, which unlocks other doors, or keys that also unlock other doors, or coins, or does unique let's say statistical like outcomes. You get more coins in this room, or you do a puzzle and you get like a certain object to help you find better items to go forward, because you have every day. So like it's like you start with a blueprint of like from 5 by 10 grid, I guess, like a grid outlet with like the super chamber in the middle of it. And so every day you have to pick your rooms, go through each room to unlock the main, I want to say like any chamber, and that's how you beat the game. You go in there, and then that's you unlock the ending, I guess.
And you have do you have like a certain amount of days to find this room?
To my knowledge, you don't have a certain days, but certain things are available in after a certain number of days have passed, certain conditions apply, so then you can't buy certain things, or certain it's all red one day because it's now day 25, right? There's certain conditions every day that as you read each run you get 50 steps. After 50 steps you have to call it an end to the day.
You run up your energy bar.
No, though there are things like you can imagine to
keep
going, or cut it in half, because every room has a unique property or instance. So it could increase it, decrease it, or do a lot of weird magic nonsense. And after then you have to call it a day and then start over again. No keys, no blank slate, and you do it again.
So you don't keep anything over.
You don't keep anything over.
You can't talk to the guy that does the lap dance to deposit your rubies.
Nope.
Stupid Majora's Mask.
No, so there are certain things you can do. There's like certain ways that you can upgrade rooms, so that way certain rooms start off better stats, I guess. Like you get more keys to start, or like certain things will happen when you start a new run. But it's very roguelike because you're not sure how each run's gonna go. You kind of
it changes every time.
Yeah,
I was gonna say because I thought originally in my head it's like now the fifth door from the right is the pass forward, and now the next, and you kind of move quicker through the house, but
yeah.
No,
because every time it's random. As the further you go into the house, you need either more keys or like a electronic key card to unlock more doors, and like say it gets really complicated. Right as this moment right now, I guess I'm day 13, and now I can't buy items anymore. So now I'm left to the whims of the random number generator, as they call it, or that's what the kids call it.
Boy, this sounds tedious as fuck to me.
Well, it is. The best way to describe this game is like you do like 1 or 2 runs a day, but you cannot play this. No, you cannot play this like for a whole hour because you'll be here forever. So
my question to you, brother, is there a sense of progress at all in all your runs? Because like for Hades, for example, I feel like that's a game most people know.
Yeah.
In Hades, right, you slowly you collect your darkness and you level up your stats and level up your weapons and do more stuff, and then which hopefully you get a little bit farther as you progress through the underworld, right? Yes. What helps you feel like you're making progress in this game?
What helps is that the game tells you off the bat hey, you might want to take notes on this game. You know, kind of like have a pen or a journal, some of that, because
Oh wow, this is like old school PC shit right here.
yeah,
Holy shit.
So because there are like certain
Myst fans rejoice.
So certain, yeah, that's like, oh, you have my interest here.
Oh no, this is definitely a Miles game only. It sounds like okay. Whew, I feel better now. I can surrender. This isn't for me.
Like certain rooms that will pop up certain days, will allows you to, like, there's safes in there, and safes you could put it allows you to get more coins or more jewels. There's like let's say like
but it's luck.
Yeah, but it's locked. But you have, if you know that.
But there's no like guaranteed progress, succeed.
As you keep going forward, more types of rooms will unlock, I guess, because they're like 5 different colors. Red or bad.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, it's.
I was trying my best to be like, maybe this is a game I could, and then more we talk, the more like, this is not for me.
But like I said, the best for Scrubs Brother is that you play once or twice a day. You play once in the morning, once at night, and then move on, do everything else, because you do not do and try to play like 5 runs at once, because you either will get tired, or you just like I just can't keep doing this.
I think I'm going back to Hades, so that's all I know after this conversation.
So, but yeah, that's where most of my time, other than the homework stuff, of course, that's most of my time. We can like I said earlier, yeah, it's time to go back into the gacha mines, everybody.
So you just love gambling with your time and progress and feel like you're getting anything accomplished, brother.
I have a journal. I
got your notes, but like, what do you write down your notes? Fucking get lucky, asshole.
Well, that is a problem with this game too.
Because like, I feel like the notepad is like, the door from the 10th from the left is the answer, but like, it sounds like no, it's not always the answer.
The problem with this game is really kind of, like you said, kind of be tedious for at least the first couple of runs, because like sometimes you get good, like you get a run, you get all the way to the chamber, but there's like a trick to that chamber, so you can't do anything, and then you have to quit for the day.
But that's like, I guess, kind of the point of games. But like, once again with Hades, you can't control certain things, but there are a few things you can't control, and I need that, because without it, I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time.
And there are certain rooms, like I said, like there's like what I call like coat check, which is like a room that you could, like, if you find an item, like I put like a electronic key card, I put in a coat check next time I draw that room up. The key's in there, so I don't have to worry about finding that key later. It's in the, I have it saved for another run.
You got the Resident Evil box?
I guess I don't know if it's saved. I guess I'm having fun, but I don't know if you guys will have fun.
It gets good after 100 hours.
Yeah, that's when the Wano starts. That's when it gets good.
Day 155, I finally think I know how this game works.
By the way, this guy, can he just pull I would say Morgan Freeman, but that's a different person.
Yes.
Gordon Freeman, and just bring the crowbar and knock down all these doors? I feel like that's the easiest way to find this thing.
Well, I heard, because the few things before I finish, I guess. The few things is that there is a way, so that way you have to get keys later on, because you can pretty much take all the rooms into like electronic key locks. Then once you have like the electronic key card I have, you can use that to go through everything, and you don't have to worry about anything.
Do you have to go from the hot room to the cold room to then change out the new key card?
Well, you do.
Is Sora there? Is the Keyblade?
You do have to turn on the generator. You do have to do certain things for this thing. Yeah, say it.
Is a Metal Gear Rex in here?
Maybe it might be in the cellar.
Brother, you found the 46th room.
It is very. Hey, I love Miss. Like, I love this.
Yeah,
I want pain. Let me enjoy this pain over here.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Don't worry. Next week, brother, we'll go back to the gotchas, and we'll go back to the way how things are.
Yay! Then I could I don't have to ask any questions. I could just zone out my brain.
Oh, that's cool. I heard about the anniversary's next week, so I can't wait for that.
We all can't wait for that.
More free pulls, everybody. Free pulls.
Anniversary for what?
He's also, hey, I'll argue technically those random numbers are a lot better than that goofy game. Star Rail's next week, or this week, I should say, coming up.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
It's not Genshin. That's what matters.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say.
I sure the next Genshin, well, they're gonna change a lot. Well, we're gonna stop. We'll stop there.
Well, that's another podcast.
Well, that's next time, everybody.
Something to look forward to. That's why you should like, subscribe to the Taco Taco podcast. Listen to all the gotcha fever.
Oh, we love our gotchas around here.
I'm gonna break too. Xenoblade has all my attention.
But once it's finished, back to the mines.
I need to finish Thousand Year Door. That's my answer to all this. All right, gentlemen. It sounds like it's now officially time to get our spring 2025 anime on out here and talk about some of the hottest, latest, brand new, freshest animes there's out there for everyone to consume. For those who don't know, this is how we do it here on the Taku Taku podcast. So each of us has picked 3 different shows that we're going to cover. We're going to do a little preview to let you know what the show is about and maybe give you suggestions of if this is a show that you may or may not want to add to your watch list this season. And after we each cover our 3 shows each, we'll each pick a chosen show that will get a full review down the line, which we'll all watch and talk about and discuss, have a spoiler talk later on in the podcast. And the new addition this season we have,
new for 2025,
is that our second place runner-ups this season will have a chance. One of them will get a chance to get past due to voting, or thanks to voting from us, but we can't vote our own shows. It has to be someone else's show, gentlemen.
Boo.
So we can't just all pick our shows, and then we're gonna have a tiebreaker there.
You guys don't understand. Ohana's gonna win this time. You guys don't understand.
And somehow that made it all the way to full review. God help us all.
That's right, didn't it? Didn't have half-ass all the way there.
Hours and hours of content, thanks to Miles. www.takutaka.com.
You laugh, but the content keeps going, isn't it?
Yeah, we're still here doing it. And with that, that'll become our 4th place winner, and we get a full review as well, along with our other 3. So we'll have 4 spring shows that we'll cover later on in the podcast. But today, gentlemen, let's discuss our first handful of shows and see how far they make it on this crazy journey we have here on the podcast. So I guess I'll go in the order we did in our weeks, and I'll start us off, gentlemen. And let me start with, let me go with the first show I was confident in. I guess a little explaining, for myself. So usually the way when I pick my shows for this podcast, I basically choose last. I'm a nice podcast producer, and I let everyone choose first, and then I get whatever's left over, and I make the best out of that and call it a day. But this time around, I still did technically go last, but I had a little bit of a buffet sampling of all the brand new shows this season, and pretty much watched the first episode of most of the somewhat popular shows. And so this time I had a little bit more information to go off for what shows I want to officially preview for this season. And so with that, the first show that I saw the first episode and said, sold, I want to see what happens, was this little anime show over on Amazon this season called From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. And this is it's not an isekai, but it is a fantasy story. It's set in a fantasy. Can you believe it's fantasy setting? Who would have thunk? Fantasy story in a fantasy setting.
Wow.
It's almost like that helps it make it a fantasy tale. But anyway, in this anime we have here, we are focused on an older gentleman. I don't think they really say his name, but my guess would be
Swordsman.
He is a swordsman, and he is probably at least in his mid 40s would be my guess.
Ooh, we're getting close to that.
So he's definitely aiming for our demographic here on the podcast. We can relate, and let me tell you, I definitely did relate to him. But the thing is he's not this famous epic warrior that's gone down in legends, and he's the hero of time or this or that. He is, as the name implies of the show, he is just this little dojo master in the middle of the country in this fantasy setting that's away from the capital, away from the big government eyes and the big famous people, popular people, if you will. And it's just doing his everyday kind of daily slice of life kind of stuff of running the dojo, and looking over students and teaching kids to, wield a sword, right? And he's kind of content doing that. He just wants to focus on being the best, and he's happy living this simple life. But of course, as I mentioned, he's a bit older. He's having maybe a midlife crisis. His parents want to have a midlife crisis, I guess, because they're like, hey, son, you've been in charge of the dojo for all these decades, and where's my grandkid, asshole? And he's like, oh, this again. Oh, mom, dad, come on. I just want to focus teaching the students, and I just want to be the best swordsman.
I don't know about this enough.
So, yeah. So, this is, aimed for maybe an older demographic, which once again might be really associated with the host of this podcast. So that's our kind of a slightly dilemma. And sure enough, one fateful day, just having his everyday routine, a knock comes up on his door, and it turns out one of his prodigy students from I think like 10 years ago or something like so shows up and has become one of the, I think she's like the commander of the knights in the capital. So she's like way up there when it comes to having a power in this universe. And she goes, Master, I need you. I have secured a job for you in the capital. We need you to help teach the new generation of future swordsmen to help protect the capital. And I have here from the king himself an official duty and note for you to come to the capital and help teach everyone. And Mom and Dad's like, oh, son, that's quite an honor. You can't refuse the king. Come on now. And by the way, if you're in the capital, why don't you go start a lovely gal and marry them and then bring me some grandkids, goddammit. And reluctant, he's like, oh, shit, goddamn. Okay, I guess I have no choice in the matter. I guess I'll have to go and accept to become a new sensei in the capital. But of course, no one knows who the heck this guy is. But his former student is quite still in love, both romantically perhaps, but also in love with his dedication to being a teacher and being quite the swordsman. But of course, when he gets to the capital, everyone's like, oh, who the fuck? All the students there, and these are like high nobles, this and that, rich kids. He's like, I've never heard of this guy. This guy's a nobody. I'm gonna show this guy up. And sure enough, one of the promising students there says like, fight me, old man. We'll see if you're worth being an actual teacher here at the capital. And of course, he's very, his personality is very Shikamaru, for those who are familiar with Naruto, who's just very kind of like, oh, what a pain. Like, okay. He's very humble, like, oh, I'm just here trying to help out the kids, but I really am not that good. I'm just an old man. I don't know what I'm doing. But of course, it turns out he's got a little skill to his name. But of course, he's always humbled, like, oh, it was just luck. And sure enough, he beats this kid with pretty much one blow. Despite he has like this old anime killer move thing nonsense, and he spins around. He's just like, well, if I just spin around with you, you don't hit me, and I beat you. So it's very like common sense logic that he always kind of wins these fights. So I kind of like that aspect as well. And sure enough, by being this promising student, everyone is like, oh my goodness, this guy's like the best. He is the next best. Teach me more, sensei. Teach me the ways of the swordsman. And sure enough, when he's there at the capital, he finds more and more of his former students there who've become knights. One has become like a black rank adventurer, because there's like the guild adventurer skill there associated with. There's a magical core group there who was another former student who uses both swords and magic to their own like unique fighting style.
Right? Robin? From Fire Emblem? Was that like a sword?
Oh, yes, with this Levin sword. Yes, I guess that's how that affects the stats of that weapon. Something like that, yeah, I guess you could say. And sure enough, his time's there. He's in the spotlight because it's kind of, without being over the top, but kind of like One Punch Man, where the fact no one knows who Saitama is, but of course he's like the strongest guy in the room, and that's what it's kind of going on this show, where nobody knows who this guy is, but he kind of keeps winning. But a little bit is luck and just common sense he's getting by in these fights. So it's not like he's like overpowering people through like typical fantasy isekai setting stuff. And so yeah, that's basically what you get in the show. Is he gets himself in scenarios where he's kind of like, ugh, man, I really don't want to deal with this. What a pain. I just kind of want to go home. I really don't want to do this kind of thing.
Don't we all?
But everyone's like, oh, but you're the best sensei without you. And so he's like, oh shit, these kids look up to me. I don't want to let them down. And that's what I really liked about the show early on, is the easy thing is to be like, oh, it's just a horny excuse for a harem show. And while it still might be that show, it could be, we'll see. But right now in the first 3 episodes, he feels like, oh, the first thing I am is a teacher, and I want to make sure my former students and my new students, everyone's learning, we're having a good time, everyone's safe and secured. And like, that's what he's after. He's not like, ooh, with the pennies on my former student, you know, he's no like typical. It's kind of refreshing to have a older character who acts his fucking age for once in anime.
Not like what was it, like Kaiju number 8, where like he's
yes, where he's an old guy but he still acts like he's 18. Yes, no, he is an older guy who's just like, oh man, this is all kind of a pain, but all right, I guess I have to do this, and I'm gonna look good for my students. So, like I said, I found that very refreshing, and as perhaps I could relate to the age
all
brackets.
I know is that I'm not going to ask you this, brother, because I'm just curious, but I'm pretty sure I know what the answer to this is going to be. Are most of the former students girls?
Yes.
All right, Your Honor, I rest my case.
So, that's what I'm saying. It is potentially still going to be a harem, but it's very, like, at the moment, they're just there. It just so happens it's like 80% women and 20% guys in the show. So it is definitely more girls. There is a tall redhead for Frank.
Frank's like I'm in. Thanks for
So
the-
if you want to, if you're looking for Waifu Wars, the season, we're checking all the boxes. So if you're looking for best waifu, this also could be a show for you.
debate.
But it's
All right, pick this one.
lock it in. But yes, it delivers on the action. It's something like amazing, but like I said, I like the common sense in a lot of the fights of like, oh, if I do, you lean to your left, so I'll go to my right, or very like almost like Epo level kind of like common sense, kind of like down to earth, not like I use the energy of the sun to reflect the power of my hatred towards you.
But he doesn't go Super Saiyan 5. What would be the point?
Yeah, so yeah, it's very down to earth. And like I said, I like the fact it's an older character. He acts his age. And if you still want a little bit of a waifu romance, we might down the path still get there without being just really ecchi harem, hee ha panty shots here and there. So I am curious to see what the show is going to go in the future episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will be my preview of from Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman over on Amazon if you're curious. And we'll see how far it might make it this time here on the podcast. All right, so let's move on to Frank. Frank, what is your first anime you got for the season?
Well, the first one that caught my literally was it's called Teogonia. It's about I don't know if it's isekai yet or not. It's kind of weird.
Oh,
It might be reverse isekai. Anyways, they're like in a time where there's no guns, so kind of like Inuyasha time period.
Okay.
There are these bearers, divine bearers,
Like Grr Bear.
no bearers, like they bear the mark.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking like Winnie the Pooh. Who's out here?
Ooh, where's my honey?
Where's my
Like that. Too.
smackle of honey?
So basically, this is kind of weird because there's like a king or a ruler of the area, and they're soldiers, and basically they go out hunting monsters, I think, and they steal like their heart, which
Kingdom Hearts?
like I think humans and monsters both have this thing inside, and if you break it, it's kind of like a coconut where it has like
refreshing
juice inside, and basically like they go on these raids or whatever, and they collect them, and they give a little bit of to every warrior that survived, and it makes you stronger.
Oh,
But
okay.
the higher ranking you are, the more you get.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you want to prove yourself so that you get more of this.
You get
stuff.
that. You get the whole coconut.
Yeah, and then like the main guy in the town gets the most. So the main character is a weak person, and there's this one time when these pigs are attacking, and they kind of get him, like he gets a little hurt.
Oh, okay.
And so his friend is with him, and they're talking about, it kind of sucks. Before this, they were talking. It kind of sucks if you die, because like, people forget about you.
Oh, okay.
Like they don't bring flowers. So then when they're running away, he's like, "Run, run!" And then the friend's like, "I'm not gonna leave you." And then he looks back at the pigs, and he's like, "Well, at least I'll bring you flowers." He just takes off.
Wow.
And the other guy goes, "Well, I understand. I would have done the same thing."
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough.
But it's not supposed to be funny. It's just this is what they're saying.
Well,
That's fun. It's very serious.
So then like he kind of like leaves them so that he's a decoy, and he gets away. What ends up happening is he falls off a cliff, and he touches this rock, and I think that gives him powers. I don't know, but
Are we talking about soul leveling, by the way?
are we?
It sure sounded like
and
it.
then he got
There was this guy. There was an attack on Titan in the room, and then he fell on a rock, and then he got magical powers.
Yeah, and then
it grew 2 feet tall.
Yeah, and his chin got really pointy. You gotta make sure his chin gets super pointy up there.
The point is, I don't know if he gets powers because he drank the coconut heart, or if because he touched the rock. It's leaning more towards the rock. But basically, after this, he becomes strong, and he's a divine bearer. But he's trying to hide it. Forgot for what reason. But they do know that he survived because everybody thought he was gonna die, and they were like, "Oh, it's because just and his explanation was like, after the battle, I found a bunch of corpses and I drank all the coconuts.
That's a lot of coconuts.
They don't call it coconuts, but
We're calling it coconuts.
We're calling it coconuts.
So everybody was like, "Oh, that makes sense." Yeah, yeah. So he's
No
stronger, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, it's because he drank all the coconuts." And somehow he ends up meeting a princess from town or something.
As you do.
It happens.
And I forgot. Oh, she catches him using fire. And it's like, what the hell? And then she kind of wants to talk to him more, so she goes on the mission and requests his squad. And everybody's like, Lady Jose, which because it's Jose.
Oh right, yes. If you do it that way, yes.
So they're like, Lady Jose requested that guy personally, and everybody thinks like she likes him. But well, at the moment, she's only interested with
his power.
Yeah. And then her thing is that she wants to be a warrior, but her dad and brother don't want her to be a warrior because she's a girl, and you're like, girls don't fight.
That's what Nintendo said.
And and then she kind of proves them wrong because then she needs to be saved during the fight.
Oh.
So it's like, oh, see, that's. And he kind of hears or remembers things that are not from his life.
Oh.
And this is why I keep saying it might be reverse isekai. Because he talks about like modern things. So he was trying to learn how to cut the tree. And then he's all like, tree. And then he was like, oh no, I'm not really cutting the tree. I'm just splitting the molecules. And I was like, what are molecules? But why do I remember this word?
Oh, I see.
And then he talks about like, I don't remember exactly, but he was talking about like civilization, like traffic and stuff like that. He's like, I remember these things, but I don't know what they are. And I don't know why I remember these things.
Ooh, mystery.
So it's kind of weird that he remembers these things. There's no explanation yet. And in the opening or ending, they show like him in the city.
Oh.
So it's kind of like they've been showing this for 3 episodes and nothing about that yet.
Boy, we're really building up a tease out here.
Yeah. So I'm interested to know what's gonna happen next. It did start off slow. It kind of got better. Right now, it's cool. I like the art, which is why I picked it. But at the moment, I feel like he's too strong. So I need a little, where's the danger?
Right. Alrighty, I guess we'll see how far that one will go on this particular anime season. So now we'll pass over to Miles. Miles, what show would you like to start off this season with? What do you think? Or I was gonna say what you that'd be spoilers just later on. Just tell me what do you want to talk about first, brother? Dealer's choice.
Let's talk about that. It gets interesting because it's very I guess it'll be in our wheelhouse, brother, because it's something we get their type of humor. So the first show I'm going to talk about is Ninja Koro, or an assassin and ninja live under one roof.
Okay. Is this on Crunchyroll?
This is on Crunchyroll. It's made by Shaft. So
that's why we would like it.
You know that we're getting at here. So basically, it starts off. First of all, it starts off at like 4x3 anime.
Oh, old school.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay, that's the one.
Yeah, it starts off very old school about a ninja Sadako she Hurley runs away from her ninja village without she went with everyone else on their flow, like it's leaving.
Did you steal a secret ninja scroll?
No, she just kind of followed because I guess they told her to come and she went and she's like, why did I left? No, and she got lost and she ended up in the big city, I guess.
Oh, that happened.
Then she bumps into I guess another student, Konoha, who happens to be a secret assassin. And she kills like a side gig or whatnot, but she goes to school like a normal student.
Is this like in modern time?
Yeah, modern times.
Okay, because when I think ninjas, I'm always thinking like samurais and shit.
Well, that's the thing, is because like the beginning, like it's like very old school, like this is like Ninja Town.
Oh, but the joke and the twist is it's actually modern day.
Modern day.
Okay, that sounds like Shaft.
Yeah, so like I said, you get all the Shaft, like their motifs, the head tilts.
Gotta have the hilt tilt.
The color changes, the unnecessary, or not necessary, the incidentally, we call them fan service shots,
boobies,
because but like so like no, you don't know about what's happening until it's happening. It's like very, but that's what Shaft does. So basically, she has no home, and because technically Sadako ran from the village. Now they want to kill her now because she left the village. I guess you're not supposed to do this.
No traitors.
No traitors. And also try and find her buddies who also left because they didn't want to. They want to not live a ninja life. They want to be normal or live like a more modern life, I guess per se. So,
I see.
But she kind of went with them for no apparent reason, just because they told her to come. She went.
Oh, she's really smart. Sounds like.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole joke, she's not a good ninja to start.
Oh,
she only has one skill, and she could turn turns objects to leaves.
Okay.
So,
Full Metal Alchemist.
So the here's to make the major joke cycle of this whole thing. Of course there will be some random ninja like from the village who wants to kill her. She'll pop on screen somehow. She was like a Bartista, kind of like got orders, and now she has to kill her now, or they come out of the woodwork.
So Sakamoto days.
Kind of, yeah. I guess the best way to describe it.
Okay.
Because then Konoha pretty much kills him off the spot, like just not even like no gruesome death, but just like, and they're dead. And then Sadako's ability, she turns her bodies to leaves, so no evidence.
Oh, I see. How Breaking Bad of them.
And so she poofs them to leaves, and Konoha, because she always gets blood on herself or not, she like all everything turns to leaves, and that's her ability. She can just turn.
So it's a dark comedy.
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
I say it's also Shaft's Wheelhouse.
Yes, they like weird dark shit.
So and so the whole Joseph, because she has this ability, Konoha has a use for her, I guess. And she's also very good at cleaning, doing all like Sadako's very good at cleaning, like doing the house chores, I guess. So because she give her a place to live, and in turn she helps her take care of her assassin. Because one of his dreams was to be number one in the assassin's hit chart, I guess.
Really, it's Sakamoto days.
But in order to get there, she has to make sure she does things efforts to clean. Because you can't just kill a bunch of people to move this list. You have to do other.
That's what the Hitman games taught me.
You have to be efficient. You have to be more precise. No, you have to be. There's certain things to move up in the ranks, I guess.
No evidence.
So with Sadako's skills, she reluctantly goes down because obviously she's by herself. She doesn't know what to do.
And she sounds like a pushover.
Yeah, very much. And I said the whole half is just basically because the whole killing part thing, it's a joke. No, don't think about that part. It's more about,
it's not like intense, gruesome violence.
Yeah, it's just like it happens. They come screen, poof, and then done, poof, and we move on to the action of, which is like her finding new clothes, her trying to find a job in the economy. The economy's bad, trying to get a new job. So it's like a lot of like social commentary, I guess.
Right.
Because she bumps to one of the ninjas that ran away with her, and of course she ran away because she has a girlfriend. Which is because they're all girls. I guess all ninjas are girls. I guess.
No, an anime.
But she has a girlfriend, so now that's taboo, of course. And
my goodness gracious.
And I said so like there's like little we peek a little bit here about Japanese culture here and there a bit. But obviously it's all like the fun, cute.
But because it's all these wacky things are happening on it, it's not really a social commentary. Okay. Definitely not. Don't look too carefully. Yeah.
But if you see the clip, this is what this is about, I guess.
I love they have to do all these crazy things just to like sneak in these little things.
I'm not saying about this, but it is kind of hard to.
It just so happens it's happening. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But look at another dead ninja. Oh, that's crazy.
Like I said, the opening's cool. The songs opening's kind of whatever, but the song's kind of nice or it fits. But you'll love the ending because the ending's such like it might like Pony Dash because it's just like this random nonsense, whatever. But it fits. This fits the it's like some
the chaotic energy.
Yeah, the chaotic energy. But that's at the ending.
I do like chaotic energy.
It depends because you have to get used. You have to know. It's not a lot of Shaft. Like it's not like Bakumogatari, which is like,
no, that's
its own.
Because I imagine Shimbo's not doing this.
Oh no. Yeah, but you do. There are hints. There are little pieces here and there.
The staples of the studio.
The staples are in there, but there's no real wild like. You have to get used. It's like digestible Shaft, I guess.
Right.
Beginner Shaft. Hey, you want to come? Let's watch this. You know,
a little wacky.
But it has potential. It recently the manga just got picked up actually.
Oh, for English, you mean?
Yeah, English. It got picked up a couple days ago, so that's kind of for me.
Oh, part of the plan. The synergy, baby.
Yeah, so we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, if you've seen Shaft Bros, Shaft's type of humor, you'll love the show. If you if you like want to get into like what makes these shows unique, it's also a good stepping stone because it's not too heavy in dialogue, not like where like kind of you're like really digging through stuff, but it is very offbeat from all the other animes I've seen so far this season.
Wacky. Sounds wacky. I feel like that's the one word maybe to use.
Yeah, so that'll conclude my first show.
Okay. I am also slightly interested as well for once. Might be we might have a good season on our hands here, gentlemen.
Yeah, we might. I'll let you know off the bat. It was very hard.
Surprisingly, usually spring is not a great time for anime, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Which now I guess brings us to our second round of anime choices this season, and it's my turn now. So now it's my turn to talk about: can a boy-girl friendship survive over on Crunchyroll, or as I like to call this show, not Fuuka. For those who are familiar with my YouTube channel, I've covered a show called Fuuka, which is a sequel to
Shizuka.
Suzuka, wasn't it? Suzuka.
Suzuka.
I think that was the mother's name, so that was a fun fact. Anyway, so yes, this is once again, can a boy and a girl friendship survive? And as the title implies, it is about a boy and a girl that are in high school. Well, gentlemen, I know I just blew your minds. An anime in high school about a boy and a girl. Not only is it a boy and a girl, there's another girl. And gentlemen, I think we have a love triangle in our hands here, basically. So it is a love triangle in high school. I guess the setup here is our main protagonist is generic anime man 101. And his uniqueness in the show, I guess, is he is pretty like easygoing, easy to push around, typical oh boy, girls, whoa, I'm so nervous, kind of. But his hobby of choice is different, where most guys, I don't know, play games or go home or whatever they do. This guy, he likes to make accessories, I guess, like jewelry, like necklaces and earrings, very like things more designed for girls, I guess, the way to really summarize them.
Like the guy from Persona 4?
Yes, that would work. And so, yeah, that's what he likes to do. And he has that's like his dream. He wants to become like I don't know what these people are called, but people who make accessories.
Accessory maker.
I guess so. He wants to make it big on Etsy is basically the way I would describe it. And so he wants to open up his own accessory shop and become like, I guess, kind of a fashionista ? I don't know. Like I said, there must be a better name that people describe this kind of job and career path.
It does seem very uncommon.
Yes. And so, yeah, that's what he likes to do. And thanks to his female friend that he met in middle school, who was the blue-haired girl in the picture of the anime, if you've seen the show.
See right here.
She's
See right
like
here. This
the classic, hey, I like your jewelry. I'll help you, but you're terribly shy and terrible to talk with people. But I'm great with talking to people. I'm outgoing. I'm an extrovert. You're an introvert, and I'll help you with the sales. I'll be your marketing saleswoman, and together we'll make this dream come true. And sure enough, for a few years they do that, and that's when the really show starts off in high school, where they've been doing it for a few years now, and they kind of a little bit of success on the internet, a little bit of reputation here and there. But he's kind of still working like anonymously on the internet, and like no one knows like this is what he likes to do for a hobby. But he goes like after school to like an abandoned like science room to craft all these different jewelry items. And so it's a bit of like a side hustle for him, and that he hopes to make a one-day dream. And of course his parents, very Japanese traditional folks, are like, you have up to the age of, I think 30 they said, and if you either have to make it or break it with this hobby of yours. And then also along with it, also by the way, if you're never married by 30 years old, you're going to marry this blue-haired girl because you two seem to get along. So kind of like my Bumpkin show a little bit, where parents are putting on the pressure to get married. And
what does the blue-haired girl have to say about
yeah, well, see, and that's the question for this series. Because like I said early on, like I'm not romantically interested in this guy. I just want to help him financially. He looks like this is a great, easy, cushy job, and I like what he does. And she keeps telling herself that until the love triangle third girl comes in.
So is that what happened?
Which circumstance, beyond anime coincidence and eye rolls, just so happens to find out, oh wow, you're the guy who makes his jewelry. I told myself I love the guy who makes his jewelry, and I'm romantically interested in him. Not only that, they pull out a goddamn love hina and go, remember we met each other when we were little boys and girls at that one time.
Is he going to Tokyo U? Is that
yeah,
where
honestly. And you're my first crush, and she was my first crush, and we found each other after all these years in coincidence.
Is there a little plushie like Lindo-kun?
Yeah. Oh my god. So this thing was a roller coaster. Because first episode, and the reason I passed it to get a full preview was I liked the idea of like, she said no. Because they didn't show the love interest just yet. And it's just like, I'm not going to fall in love with this guy. He's a boy, I'm a girl, and we're just out here for business. That fucking goes out the window by episode 2. Let me fucking tell you.
But it wouldn't be anything without it, brother.
Of course. We got him. You got him. they fucking did. Those assholes, they got me. And by episode 2, I was rolling my eyes because we get the love hina drop and this and this and that. So already by episode 1, I was in. Episode 2, I was out. However, episode 3, back in. A little back in because here's the thing with the setups like this, it's like the love who's gonna break first, this or that, right? That's how these things go, and they go on for fucking 11 episodes, and finally in episode 12, he picks a go, right? That's how these go. The spicy thing, I guess, in episode 3 is there's this random guy who comes in. Like they show him, but like his relationship to their friend group makes absolutely no sense. He's just there to get the shit, stir the shit pot, I guess. Because he can tell that like, oh, the blue hair girl really is in love with him, but he's in love with his childhood crush who also has a crush on him. And it's like, oh, I want to like egg them on a little bit, kind of like that Okinawa girl show from the other last season. And he's really putting in front of them, and to a point at the end of episode 3, the blue girl has like a whole like misfit or like an outburst, and basically goes, well, I don't want to work with you anymore, I don't want to talk to you ever again, and this and that. And so it now becomes like a telenovela drama bullshit love triangle nonsense, which is a little bit more exciting, kind of. So it is still a love triangle, but I like the fact that, because usually it's always these shows always play out, like I said, like 10 episodes of like, nah, it's misunderstanding, nah, it's a misunderstanding, nah, it's a misunderstanding. But no, by episode 3, the cards are kind of laid out, basically. It's hard to misinterpret these feelings and these statements and their actions to said statements. And she even like dumps a drink on him because like they're like a family restaurant, and she's like, basically, I want to break up with you. And it's like, but they're not even like in a romantic relationship. So like the over the top drama telenovela stuff, I'm like, maybe. So I don't know.
Rumbling hearts. Oh, got it.
See, it wasn't that dramatic. Now, if it was that dramatic, this would be an automatic pass. So it's one of those, I don't know. Because what are we going to get over the top drama nonsense? Ooh. Or we get the typical, oh, I don't know how I feel about her.
Well, we'll wait till one gets in an accident. We'll spend 10 years forward, and then we'll see what happens.
So yeah, because I was kind of hoping, I guess in my head I was hoping that him and the childhood crush would like officially start dating, and then she would be like, oh, I support you guys, I fucking hate them, I'm gonna break them up, like slowly kind of change over to the dark side, right? But kind of, yandere status or something very shuffle, maybe, for those who've seen Shuffle. Jesus Christ, that's a pull.
That is a pull.
But we're not getting that, I don't think. So I like I said, I don't know what we're gonna get in this show.
So this is like a wild card of anything.
It is a wild card. Is it gonna go this way or that way? Because I need it to go to extreme. Because if it goes to predictable generic town, couldn't care less. Because, oh man, let me tell you, I'm not the biggest love triangle guy in general. But on top of it, my favorite pet peeve, I guess you could say that, is the classic, I'm not interested in him, I don't love him. 2 seconds later, oh, I do love him. Like, come on. Either you know you like him or you don't know you like him, or vice versa. This whole, like, I just discovered it. It's such an eye roller for me. So yeah, that is can a boy and girl friendship survive?
No.
The question, will the show survive this anime season? I guess you'll have to stay tuned to see if it makes
it sounds spicy. It sounds spicy.
It can be spicy, but potentially. I don't know. Maybe bring your tapatio for this one, perhaps. All right. With that, I will end my second round this time and pass it back over to Frank. Frank, what's the next title you got for us?
Wow. Okay. So this
just top that, Frank. That's all.
How much drama you got?
So it's the third one that caught my eye, but the second one I watched. basically this one is called, I think, To Be Hero X. It's really colorful. It's so out there. I was thinking it was gonna be like My Hero Academia. But it's more like Tiger and Bunny.
Oh.
Combined with Into the Spider-Verse. Combined with Persona.
Ooh, all right. Now I'm getting a little interested now.
So it's like, because I looked at the trailer and yeah, nothing. I don't know what
Nothing.
What is this show about? I don't know. I picked it.
3 episodes in. I don't know.
I guess I should start explaining the show now, because that's just trying to explain that when I picked it. I
Right.
have
Yeah.
no idea what it is.
Right. Your expectations.
I looked at stuff. I still don't know. And so basically, the reason I think it's like Into the Spider-Verse is because of the animation. I like it.
Oh, so it's 3D CG.
Yeah. And then also at times it just changes the animation. Like,
Oh wow.
remember when it kind of go into like different Spider-Man?
Right, they changed. Yeah.
It kind of does that too. I kind of don't want to explain this show because I don't know. It's just
spoilers.
Yeah, every episode has spoilers, and I'm like, but I'll explain episode 1 at least.
Fair enough.
Basically, the main character is about a guy who works at a company that makes advertisements or ads for superheroes.
Oh, Tiger and Bunny.
Yeah. So, like in Tiger and Bunny, like the superheroes are employed by companies, and they compete to be the number 1 hero. That happens in this one too. But in this one, where we focus more on the heroes and overall like who's gonna be number 1, this is more like we focus on the main guy who is not a hero, but he works for the company that employs the heroes. So basically, he submits a proposal, and his boss hates it.
Oh.
And he tells him, start over. And then he gets a call from the company, the hero company, telling them, we hate the proposal.
Wow.
So he tells them, like, what proposal? And the guys are like, didn't you tell me to submit it? He's like, I submitted it. And he's like, you're fired.
Oh.
You're fired. So he gets fired, episode 1, right?
Dang.
And then he's up in the roof, kind of like my life sucks. And then there's like a air balloon and passes by, and he sees his own ad. He's like, the guy that he would make the ads for, his name is Nice. That's his superhero name. Stupid name.
Wait, what was the name of what's the other superhero show? Shy? Is it related to Shy there?
Shy, yeah.
You know what? It does remind me of Shy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Comes back.
Because kind of like in Shy, and then kind of like in Shy, this show is more about like behind the scenes of the because we talk about the Russian drunk, and then
she drinks a lot of vodka. What are you talking about?
It's just water. It's water.
So it's kind of like that's the part I like about it, where I do like the action. It looks pretty. It's pretty, but I'm more interested in the like why they became heroes, stuff like that. Anyways, so he's looking at his ad, and he's like, you know what? Screw Nice. He's like mad at that guy. And then he goes like this, which is I'm thinking it's like a flip off.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if it was like a what do you call it, like a censor?
Oh, okay.
They censored it, and just he
puts up the wrong finger or a different finger.
Yeah. So then he turns around and does that, and then the superhero Nice is right behind him.
Ooh.
And he's like, did you hear that? And then he walks past him, and he does like this, like finger guns, like, and then he just falls off the roof and dies.
Oh, that happens.
So he looks down, and yeah, he's dead. Like you can see blood and everything. Then, and then these people come running behind him, and they're like, "What happened? Oh, he just fell." And then they kidnap him, and they take him to a room, and it's like, this is a disaster. We're not gonna tell nobody that, and then we're probably gonna kill you because we don't want.
So
nobody.
the superhero is the one that dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
The superhero dies. Yeah, he died, and he was like,
right. Okay, got it. Dude, that's even better now.
So it's just like, this is where it kind of threw me off. Like, wait a minute.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
So then they're like, they're like panicking, like, what's going on? What are we gonna do? And then he's like, what do you know? What did he say? And then he was like, said nothing. He just walked past me and went.
Stupid.
So then they're like, you know what? They're looking at him and they're looking at Nice and they're like, you kind of look like him.
You could maybe.
So they end up dressing him up as him and sending him to events and then because they don't, it's like a PR disaster.
Right.
Yeah,
they don't want no one announce that.
So he has to pretend
to be. Oh, I see.
Pretend to be him, and
he has to pretend to be
got
nice.
a Paul McCartney situation out there.
And then he has to like, because he has a girlfriend and he has to
This guy leveled up in the world.
This and this is where I kind of have to explain the show a bit. This show is like, if the people think whatever the people think, that is what it is. So if
Persona 5.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like Persona 5. So if they think you're like the greatest superhero and you think you can do a Kamehameha, you're gonna be able to.
You're gonna be able to. I see.
So since he was pretending to be nice, he actually became.
He got all the power.
Yes. But he's not really the original one.
Right.
And like so he goes to an interview, like kind of like Conan, and then they're like, he's interviewing him, but he actually, this is like bad guy who kicked out the host, and he's like, I'm the new host, and he was like, because he thinks that his girlfriend and Nice, or his girlfriend's name is Moon, are like a fraud, and he's gonna like, I'm gonna expose them, and he's like, well, how many commercials has he had, and how many hours? Since he's the guy,
right? He knows,
and he's like, "Oh, this many." He's like, "What the hell? You should know this." Yeah, it surprised me. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so yeah, it sounds like kind of Death Note-y, trying to catch people in lies.
It reminds me a lot like WandaVision, in which like there's a secret like hidden message.
Maybe
kind of like it's a hidden. There's a hidden.
Right, there's something else really going on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. It surprised me. The opening has a whole bunch of stuff I don't get, and then a whole bunch of characters I haven't seen yet.
Bum.
So it's like, okay, there seems to be a lot going on.
Sounds
here.
like Attack on Titan. It was like if you
stop. We're working. We're getting our way there.
I just saw a little meme on that show. It's like, why is there dinosaurs in the
Attack on Titan?
That was like non-Attack on Titan fans asking, why is there dinosaurs in the opening?
Don't worry about
Attack on Titan fans, why is there dinosaurs in the opening?
Both. That's nice. Wait a minute.
So that was my second.
Okay, well that's another roller coaster. Sounds like as well.
If you ever want to watch Tiger Bunny / Into the Spider-Verse / Persona /
Shy. Don't forget Shy now.
Yeah.
Have I got a show for you?
Yeah, and that was episode 1. Everyone.
Yeah, man, oh man. All right, we'll see. Well, man, it might make its way to that sneaky first spot for the season. We'll stay tuned to find out. But of course, now it's time for Miles' second pick. So, brother, what do you have for us this time around?
For my second pick, I chose Witch Watch.
Okay, this is the big or relatively big show.
Relatively big show, yeah. The shonen thing.
This is also on Crush. I think it's on.
It's everywhere. It's on
Crunchyroll, Netflix.
It's like
Hulu.
It's like your Dan. Your
Yeah, I guess it's like the Dan for the season.
Yeah, it's pretty popular. Yeah, it's pretty popular everywhere. So basically, the story starts with Morihito, who I guess he's basically has Oni, or he has Oni demon powers. Because I guess the way how they explain, like generations past, and pretty much he derives from the Oni god. So you're like
he's a descendant of the Oni clan,
yeah,
or Ogre clan.
Yeah, or Ogre. That's what I should say. He's part of
the
Ogre
clan,
clan, but he's human. But all like no. It's like Yu Hakusho.
I was gonna say Yu Hakusho. You're talking about Yu Hakusho right now.
Yeah, they tell us that you're blood, and he happens to have he has these ogre powers.
Right.
So he got word that old childhood friend of his, Nico, who is like she's a witch.
Checks out.
Is coming back home. I guess she went to like I guess witch school.
Hogwarts.
Yeah, kind of like it's kind of like reminds me kind of like Negima, which like is more like the countryside somewhere in Japan or. Like
she couldn't get to the Tokyo U of magical school.
Yeah.
Did she meet a childhood friend there?
No, she's not. Well, I guess she's his childhood friend.
Nailed it. Give it to me.
So she's gonna come back home to go to I guess high school, but her mother sent her back so that way he can protect her because she has work because her mother's kind of like she's a prophet. Yeah, she's a prophet witch, I guess. So apparently she sees that
she can see into the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or she makes money.
Prophecy. Yeah. There. But she has
Today's a lot of numbers.
She knows that something's gonna happen to her daughter within a year or so, so she sent it to him so that way he could protect her.
Oh, so he's like a bodyguard.
Yeah, a bodyguard.
Gotcha.
And his dad pretty much says, well, because of this, we had a clan. We made a deal with her mother years ago because they used to live together, right?
Oh, so it's like a family thing.
Yeah, it's like your job is to protect her, be her guardian, pretty much. I know. By the way, you guys are gonna live together by yourselves here
because anime.
And it's like a straight up face, like it's like, and you guys gonna live together and deal with it.
Shenanigans occur.
So, like I said, Nico's a witch, but she's very kind of like she likes to show off her witch powers. I guess is how to describe it.
Is it a secret that witches are a thing?
It's weird because like it's kind of like it's known, but no one really like. I guess it's a very common thing. So like no, it's like not surprise.
Oh, it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal, but I guess for her it's a big deal because she's trained her life. She wants to learn do magic to help the. She wants to help the town folk, things like that, to make a name for herself by using her magic to help out the community, I guess, per se. So obviously, she wants to go to school. I know, and of course, she totally crushes on him because she's his
childhood best friend.
Childhood best friend.
All anime.
But he's more like the guardian, like stoic, kind of like
he's the straight man.
The straight man, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, cool, that's great, but no, you make sure you're okay. So you always try to find ways to say whatever you do not tell them you're a witch. Hajigusu, okay, now you're a witch.
So they are trying to keep the facts.
Well, they were like it lasted like
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Oh. So Tony Stark out here.
Yeah. So it's like, no, okay, well, so much for that idea.
Okay.
Each episode's broken into 3 little mini episodes, so like 10 minutes each.
Okay.
Or like give time to.
Well, mathematically.
Yeah. So like there's 3 segments. So like every pretty much just like she wants to try. She finds a way to wants to help people with a certain issue or problem. So she tries out a new magic spell, but obviously she's still a beginner witch or beginning witch. So every time something goes wrong with her spells and hijinks ensue.
I see.
A good example is that she wants to get his attention because he has an eraser, but his eraser is kind of rubbing out at the end because they're doing a test.
Oh, and he's running out.
He's running out. His eraser is like, oh, I don't know what to do. And she's like, to impress him, he's like, if I make his eraser bigger, then it's bigger, and he'll love me and adore me more, and it's like that's the whole idea.
So it tells me it doesn't go that way.
Yeah, so she tries using her spell she has him, but it goes wrong. So like he pretty much and it's funny because in this Shonen Jump, they're gonna have Shonen Jump jokes in here.
Okay.
So because he has like a I don't know what you call it, cowlick, or like a very
the anime hair sticking out.
Yeah. So of course it goes bigger. It looks like pretty much like Gon, like when Gon's from Hunter, and there's it's Gon freaks in the room with him or not? Like,
do they actually say Gon?
Yeah. The teacher.
But it's a Shonen Jump property, so they can make these jokes.
Yeah, so they're like jokes like what does he lost his build? Like
that's kind of funny.
She's trying to fix the spell,
but she makes everything else bigger.
Yeah, that's he has like a bigger arm.
So it's like a big old cartoon.
Yeah, and then she makes it bigger, and then I guess I'm a witch. And that's what the whole.
A lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, pretty much. She's like, I want
to fix this thing, and she makes everything a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess she was able to help. She's able to wants to give the kids her classmates the ability to fly. I guess the kind of
okay.
So she makes a spell so that way they can fly in the space. And they had like different ways. What would you do if you were able to fly in space? Where you would be on the ground, kind of like testing it out, see what you could do. You see a bunch of boys trying to impress the girls as they're doing little carts, and of course because it's Shonen Jump, or are you trying to impress your best Super Saiyan or that's Dragon Ball Z flying pose, and they have so they have the aura
So it's just what is this Gintama out here now? All these Shonen Jump references?
Yeah. So of course they have the arms
with the cross like Vegeta status,
like float away, or
I get the shoulder pads for Piccolo.
It's like there's just little jokes here and there.
I get the reference.
It's like it's a cheap joke and they move along with
right. It's a quick haha hee hee.
And eventually you see the teacher, obviously older, but she's like a big manga nerd.
Oh no!
And she's like, man, I wish I was able to do it.
I wish I could be young and stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of funny.
Wandering around, I guess. But like I said, that's purpose just to show him trying to try to watch out what's going to happen to her. But then she's busy.
But it's mostly jokes.
Yeah,
and maybe once in a while we'll get serious.
Yeah, like the third episode, that's where the story happens.
Okay.
And by the way, just admit, brother, you got to see the opening. Well, you've seen the opening.
I did. This is one. I did see the first episode, and the opening is lovely.
It's probably like, I think right now it's like almost like 1.5 million, because they basically got the One Piece opening people doing this opening. It's like chef's kiss.
It's a very pretty opening.
And a fun fact, it's the same studio that also did 100 Girls Who Really Love You. I think it's hilarious.
Oh, then has promise. I still didn't finish season 1. I kind of want to.
Yeah, talking about absurd.
Talking
about Shaft and this absurdity.
Well, knowing that they worked on that show and they're working on this Witch Watch show, I could see where a lot of the shenanigans and comedy beats have similarities and will do well for the studio potentially.
Yeah. The only downside, unfortunately, this is 26, so we might have we'll cut off halfway through and maybe we'll continue the next season,
Potentially, if it comes down to it, it could happen. We could do it.
It's been a long time since I've seen 26 episodes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. But yes.
And so that concludes the second show.
Yeah, there's your Witch Watch out there. All right, well, so stay tuned to see how far, if it makes it all the way. If not, maybe it might get that runner-up spot in our 4th slot. And now it's time to begin the last round for our previews of 2025. And let's see here. For the last show, my phone wants to do everything but I wanted to do. For spring 2025, I have for you, gentlemen, is probably, I think, the most popular shot of the things I picked. Definitely probably the most unique setting, I'd argue, is a little anime title called Kowloon Generic Romance.
Yes.
I think this one's also on Crunchyroll, if I'm not mistaken. And in this show, I'm not sure what decade it is, because the art style is very 80s, 90s-esque.
Oh, so you're Zen.
So yeah, okay. I'm a little biased towards my 80s, 90s character design. So this story does not take place in Japan, but I believe takes place. I don't think this is a real place, but it's a make-believe town, a little town. I think either in or next to Hong Kong, somewhere in China.
Oh, okay, well that's a new one.
So they don't really explain it, but I think that's my guessing. That's what my guess. It's somewhere in China, but this is an anime, so they're speaking in Japanese and as pretty famous.
Well, universal language is Japanese,
right? Yeah. Anyway, and speaking about weird things like that, that's also what we got going on. So our main protagonist is a lady named, I think it's Reiko, if I'm not mistaken, and she works at this realtor office, a very small realtor office, with her coworker, who I just call Jotaro, because I'm pretty sure it's the same voice actor that plays young Jotaro, if I'm not mistaken. And her boss, and it's this very small little office and this very small little town that, sure enough, is the same name of the anime Kowloon. I think that's how you pronounce. I'm probably butchering it. And it's this very kind of small, middle of the nowhere hick town, kind of ghetto slums-ish kind of area, right? But it's got a personality and a stink, and it's got people that live into it, and it's a lot of love, for living in this town. But I guess she's relatively new here, and she's trying to figure out her footing and this and that. And she's kind of developing a romance crush for her coworker, who's not Jotaro. I mean, no, he would be Joseph, yes. Part 2 is Joseph, right?
Part 2 is Joseph, yes.
Yeah, Joseph. Too many JoJos. Too many JoJos. Anyway, and sure enough, she has a little crush on him, and they're kind of going out, They go on little dates. They go on lunch together because they're coworkers. But of course, she's hoping that it becomes something a little bit more. Meanwhile, while this little story's happening, in the background, in this, like I said, kind of forgotten town that's very old school, stuck in the traditional ways of doing things, where eating on the streets, a lot of street vendors, little vendor shops. It's like I said, kind of like the slums, I guess, for better or for worse. I'd also describe it. There, in this weird little town, there's also an angel from Ava hanging above the town.
Okay, sweet.
That looks like the big, is it like the diamond trapezoid, whatever shape that thing is?
Oh, was it angel number 4?
I think so. That's in the end of the first movie? I think it's the first movie for the remake. Anyway, and everyone's like, what's this alien? I don't know what this alien's up to. It's just here floating around this small little town. Oh, well. Okay, everyone move about your day. So everyone acknowledges it, and it's like a tourist trap, or hey, it's there's a mascot that represents the alien being.
Yeah.
But everyone's just kind of we don't know what it does. All the news outlets, you just see little expositions talking about it. And also the other thing that's happening in the background, it turns out the big manufacturing company in this area is like it's like a pharmaceutical company that is hint doing some shady things and businesses and practices are not humanly possible.
Sweet.
And where and how they're doing these things, it's a question mark. But there sure is that flying object in the sky. I wonder if that has anything to do with what's going on with this pharmaceutical company. So yes, but this is all in the background because, like I said, they tell you it, but really the focus is on her and her hopefully soon-to-be boyfriend, question mark. Here's the problem in their romantic relationship. At the end of episode 1, it sounds like he's like trying to get over his last girlfriend, I guess is the way to describe it. And she finds a picture of his last girlfriend, who just so happened to be was an ex-fiance or was a fiance, but for reasons just never got married, never hooked up. It turns out this ex-fiance just so happens to awfully look like her, and that's the problem we find ourselves at the episode 1 is what the fuck is happening in this show.
Wait. So, like she's wondering, like, why it's her?
How can she be his ex-girlfriend when she has no memories of being this guy's girlfriend?
Okay.
So it's very like, what's the Jim Carrey movie, Spotless Mind?
Oh, Eternal's
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Yeah.
So that's the question. Is it like a scenario like that where like she just forgot her memories, she got her memories erased, she has amnesia? Does she have an evil twin sister? What's the story? And he keeps going like, oh yeah, she's gone, but she kind of looks like you. Or so it's this weird thing where they both know.
Wait, Kingdom Hearts bullshit going on here.
Yes. And so it's a lot of a mystery unraveling in those first 2 episodes. And she's like, am I me? Who am I? She's going through a Roxas phase, you could say.
Oh, geez.
And so, yeah, that's what you get early on. And then in episode 3, you get the president of the pharmaceutical company who shows up and starts taking an interest in our main protagonist in Reiko and goes, she sure is lovely. And oh, there's something about her that's so mysterious that I must have for myself. It's this big mystery of who she is and does she have a past? And because there's Reiko, she calls her Reiko B. And the interesting thing is the anime, they have flashbacks of this person and she has a different voice actress.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you don't know, are they doing this to throw the viewers off the scent or the track or something? Or what's going on here? Because they show the guy's perspective of when he first meets his original or that girl who may or may not be her. We don't know. Question mark. Is she some kind of clone, evil twin, amnesia, some kind of memory alteration? We just don't know. I don't know how evil we're getting here, right? It just so happens she has short hair. She's got the Rei Ayanami haircut too. So it's like, Ava? She's got an angel floating about. I don't know. I'm waiting for Gendo to show up with the glasses.
And you're waiting for the redhead girl to come by and then they call it a day. And that's it. And that's it. And here's Gendo here for some reason. Like, you know, he's like the real master of it, everything, call it a day.
And yeah, that's what it looks like. The pharmaceutical president guy may or may not be the evil mastermind, or maybe the alien in the sky is.
Well, you'll know because he'll have his hands full like this.
Exactly. That's how you'll know.
You'll know it.
He is weird and he's horny. I can tell you that. And he's horny for anything that moves. So yeah, it's just a big mystery of who is this? Who is she? And is she the same person, a different person? What's going on with the alien? What's going on with this pharmaceutical company? It is a big old mystery, and I don't really know what's happening. There's a couple guesses, of course. The easy answer is amnesia.
So I'm assuming like the romance part's only that first episode. After that expands more. We're going beyond that.
Yes, because she meets another person, and she kind of talks about. She doesn't go. Everything's always like. They never say the details. They just tell you she meets this other girl. It's like, I too had like work done to myself and I am a brand new person. I am no longer this person. So you don't know if this is like an ongoing trend, if it's some kind of pandemic thing going on here, just in this little small town in the middle of nowhere where the aliens doing things, or is it just like misdirection or what, right?
Okay, so it's mystery abound.
It's a big old mystery, and it's the generic romance is quite the lie. That's quite the lie, let me tell you. And there's, like I said, there's another mysterious figure that shows up in a mask who looks like he's out of like, I don't know, Sailor Moon or something with his long pretty boy hair.
Oh, Tazil mask?
Yeah, Fushugi Yugi maybe perhaps.
Someone doesn't show up, that's in the shit, and then comes.
And he knows like the secret between the two different Reikos, but he goes missing, and also he knows the pharmaceutical president. So big old fucking mystery. And I guess I'll just end it with that big old mystery. So yes, that is Kowloon generic romance. It is a big old question mark. So we'll see. And with that, I end my turn and I pass it back over to Frank. Frank, what is the big epic finale you have for us this season?
It's called Moonrise.
Okay.
And I kind of wish I had not heard about it because I kept judging it.
Oh, expectations.
So, but it's just like a little pet peeve. It didn't really affect it too much. It probably has the biggest budget. The way I'll describe it real quick, it's kind of like Final Fantasy 13,
Okay.
Trigun,
Okay.
Fullmetal Alchemist, and Star Wars.
Alrighty.
Okay,
We're busy. All right, but we got.
Yeah,
I think I got this.
It's all over the place. It's kind of like first episode right away. Kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy 13 because it's like they're on a train. They have a fight there. It's,
I was gonna say, is there a train?
Yeah.
I mean, there is like how in Final Fantasy 13 there's like the cocoon.
Oh,
Yeah, I
the
can
Earth.
hear it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
here's like the Earth people and the Moon
Wow.
people.
I love Final
Um,
Fantasy.
It's a lot like Fullmetal Alchemist. It's the same people that
Oh.
made it. Which kind of bothered me because I kept comparing it to
Fullmetal,
and I'm
yeah.
like, that's not right.
That's always tough.
And I did notice like some things that are similar because there's no alchemy, but there's like this thing they call engrave, and basically it's this technology that like armor, but at the same time you can make it into whatever you want. It's nanotechnology. Or something.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like that's kind of how these soldiers are kind of like alchemists, where they kind of
They could conjure those magical
Yeah.
things or whatever you want to call them.
yeah. The other thing that's definitely a lot like Fullmetal Alchemist is that a lot of characters look like and I'll go briefly. The main character is Al. There's this guy called Gayor that he's Ed. And the girl that Ed likes looks like Winry with orange hair.
Hey, at least you change it up.
There's another soldier. He's Scar.
I was gonna say, is there a guy with the scar
He doesn't
or
have a
shades?
scar, but it's definitely
He's got the shades.
got the shades.
Ah, there it is.
same-
Second choice.
Same skin color.
Oh no.
First episode. One thing I'm kind of not sure if it's for good or better because it kind of has to see the whole thing before you decide. It does jump around a lot. Because it starts off during the moon and they have this fight, and then like the next scene, they go back like a while, a
Mhm.
year. Now that I know, and and it's like, oh, I guess they wanted to show you a little action before the
Right. Keep you hooked.
Yeah. So basically, it starts off with how everything started. It's this rich family. They made. I don't know what they make, but it's the Shadow family, and the main character was adopted. And
Yeah.
basically, he doesn't really care about the company, but they have this big unveiling, and I guess the thing is that they made an elevator to the moon,
Oh.
and then so they're unveiling it, and then that's when things get started. He sees a vision, and he sees his childhood friend tell him, "I need your help," and then it's kind of subtle, but you could see that there's a screen kind of like on Solo Leveling, and and it's kind of like it just says yes or no, and you can see it kind of clicks on the yes, and then everything blows up,
Oh.
and so
It is so lovely.
so basically all the rich people are running, and all the main like Scar, Alf,
That's their official names.
all those guys survive. And then he sees his parents die, and it's kind of a pretty cool scene. I kind of watch like
I love watching their murder to death.
it's just like-
it's a lovely scene.
That's-
so much murder.
That's one thing I'm really liking about this show. Like the music and the animation is really good. Like
Ooh.
the fighting choreography, it kind of reminds me like Fullmetal Alchemist, but a little bit of Daredevil. Yeah. So that was episode 1. The thing falls, and episode 2, he's kind of arrested, and they're blaming him for the whole thing. They're like, hey, we kind of think you're the terrorist here. They kind of like make him a soldier.
Oh.
But you're like, it's kind of like Psychopath in the part where
Oh, he's like he's a criminal, but he's got to
Criminal.
work off his record.
but you're suited to help us out.
I
So
see. Yeah. Okay. I got you.
So they send him to the moon to kill the guy that made everything happen. The whole
That seems reasonable. You're
call,
innocent. Now go kill. Now go find the guy real victim. All right.
He declares war on the Earth. And
His name Char.
no. So that's kind of what happens in episode 2. They go and then they find the guy right away. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, that was quick. Shit.
This is really fast. And then so he's fighting him. He's getting his butt whooped. Actually, him and Ed are fighting. And then you kind of he doesn't see it, but they get beat and then they just run away. And the episode 2 ends with the guy they call him Bob Skyler, the guy that blew up the whole place.
Oh, Skyler.
Yeah. You could kind of see that his face changes, and it's his best friend from when he was young. So 3, it's kind of like they jump again, like to the past, because it's like, wait, what's going on?
Oh, there's wow.
This is where it's like I don't do like little jumps; they do big jumps.
Because
okay. You know the moment from when his parents died to the moment where he goes to the moon, it's a whole year.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, what? I feel like
quick cut.
Yeah, that's one of the things I kind of feel like it's kind of like they're in a rush and they're skipping a lot.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is sometimes I think they're trying to do they're trying to build up a mystery, but it feels like rush versus a mystery.
Yeah, and then sometimes I feel like they're skipping things because they don't want to tell you that yet.
Yes, and so this what I made a compare. Oh, Furin, I think was Freerin when I was like, oh, I'm not ready to tell you that secret yet. I'll tell you down the line.
I'll put it here and I'll come back to it later on.
Yeah, so this one's a bit more complicated, but not because it's complicated, but just because you're not telling me.
Right, yeah, just tell me the goddamn it.
Yeah, so I'll stop at episode 2 because my time ran out. But basically, I love the music, I love the animation, I love the opening and ending.
Ooh.
It reminds me of Trigun because of there's a song that they're always singing, which is kind of a mixture of the Rem song, and the mixture of kind of like Star Wars ish.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I want to hear this song now. For sure.
So they always you'll hear you'll hear
just like you'll say Rem.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited to know more. When I first picked it, I'm like, this is gonna be for sure the winner. But now I'm not sure because
the other shows.
The other show impressed.
Okay, all right.
But this is nothing to. The only flaws I can give it right now are 1, I hate that I keep comparing it to Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah.
And then 2,
that's tough.
I don't like the jumping around. But other than that, like everything else is like top notch so far.
Okay. I am. That also has promise as well. Boy, this is one. I think we actually have a tough season for once, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Spoiled for choice. All righty, Miles. Now it's time for your tough choice to tell us all about your last and third pick for spring 2025. What do you have for us?
So my last pick is called The Catcher in the Ballpark.
I thought you were gonna say Catcher in the Rye.
No, that's a different one.
I'd watch that anime.
All right. I think another thing is that Anne Gables. Think someone brought that back this season?
Yes, I did stumble upon that.
The side note.
I was gonna choose.
But makes sense. Checks out.
Yeah. Well, maybe. No, that makes sense. Okay. So Catcher in the Ballpark. It's best to describe it. It's like analogy. It's basically a
anthology.
Anthology. It's a bunch of little mini stories about this ballpark, pretty much.
Okay. Is it on Crunchyroll?
It's on Crunchyroll, yes. So basically, because you bump the characters, but this show is roughly just like
every episodic.
Just like wristwatch is it's roughly 3 mini episodes in this anime.
Okay.
Each one has a story, but the same characters reappear in other. Other things. So, they're all live. They all work in.
Okay, I was gonna say, what's the connection?
Yeah. So the ballpark is the Motor Sons ballpark, which it's like mid tier. It's not exactly. It's not like the Dodgers.
They're not the Dodgers.
They're not the Dodgers, but they're not the Rockies. They're they're kind of like safe. They're like the Diamondbacks or
I guess
a very mid team. Most of the time, you follow through one of the beer girls. So
the one with the beers on the back.
Yeah.
My favorite kind of gal.
Yeah. So in Japanese ballparks, they have girls that serve you beer, but they wear literally kegs on their back. It's like a little
keg, right? Yeah.
And so you pay in her case 700 yen, and you give you a glass of beer, but You know,
Over Sapporo.
it's a whole showmanship, like idolish. You know, it's a very Japanese thing to think about.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
This
very
is real or this is in the anime?
No,
this is a real thing in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, one of the main protagonists is Rubiko. She just started. She's like she's a college student, which most of our characters are all older. Really, they're not. There's no really kids per se.
Oh, she's like the youngest one.
Yeah, but she's
Okay.
the youngest one. She's 20.
Just a part-time job.
You know, but she's probably, you know, she wants to work in the ballpark. You know, so she's one of the beer girls, and you find she's the one really like
The main protagonist.
the main protagonist. That kind of you bump into her eventually every segment. So basically, no, she's her no. So the ballpark and more of the show, it's more like you know different aspects of the ballpark. You know, like you know the first story is about a gentleman who obviously a salesman who just you know he has it rough. You know, he's working all day long, you know, things like that. But he thinks about going to the ballpark, and that's where he spends his free time. So he goes to the ballpark, you know, sees you know the team play, you know, of course, you know, Ruriko comes by and she like kind of teases him a bit, you know, he's like a shy, reserved person, you know, but you know, he kind of like, you know, they have an interaction, and kind of, and you know, he buys beer from her and then moves on, and that's how he spends his time at the ballpark.
He's crushing on this beer girl.
No, not crush. No, he enjoys baseball because he does a lot.
So he's just the stat man. He's the nerd.
He's a nerd.
Exposition man.
Yeah, pretty much. So you know, he knows a lot. Like he's like probably the most baseball nerd in this thing.
Gotcha.
But you bump in the first episode, then you move on to like a couple bringing their daughter the first time to the ballpark. You know, it's just the kid doesn't really know what's going on.
Falling asleep in the stands.
Falling asleep. Well, they lost her, but you know, Ruriko finds her, and you know, they kind of had a whole moment, you know, of her trying to enjoy going to the ball for the first time.
Did you offer her a beer?
No, not offer a beer.
Oh.
But you know, and they say the gist of the show is like you know they show different aspects of this whole ballpark. You know, they talk to some of the players, like you know, an old man he's 35. You know, he's that.
Fuck you. He's an old man. He's 35.
Well, in baseball terms, you know, he's
a player on the field.
He's a player.
Okay, I thought this was just a guy in the stands. I'm he's calling us out. This fucker.
Sorry, so because they go to like when the player, he's at almost at the end of his career, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
I thought this Bumpkin Swordsman was bad.
You know, he hits well, but you know, obviously he's not going to hit home runs or
he doesn't got the power. He doesn't got the chassis.
He's the old man on the team, I guess.
Okay,
pretty much.
Gotcha.
And we get it.
All right, we got it. Move on, Devin.
And so basically, you know, and it explains like you know, even though he might not be as flashy or as good as a player used to be,
they tell a little bit of his story.
And tell a little about his story and how like you know, even though he may not be at the end, he still enjoys going to the ballpark regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I said there's like little short stories like you know the mascot that cheers everybody out. You know, it's a little mascot that comes around.
What are they dressed as?
I guess like a giant Pokemon. It's like a very like ocean based, I guess.
He's a water type.
I guess a water type. For Pokemon, yeah, he's a water type.
Okay.
But you know, he interacts with everybody, so you know, you bump to everyone that you've seen this.
It sounds maybe kind of like working, maybe. Where there's like a lot of characters, and they kind of rotate the cast.
Yeah, but I guess the best way to describe, it's Mike working, which you know, they're all working the ballpark, you know.
Right.
But you know, it's more about you know they have their own different, it's a different
short
story,
stories,
little short stories.
Okay.
So you know,
and then mostly kind of just cute, sappy, happy ending kind of thing. Sap,
or you know, like you know,
bittersweet maybe sometimes.
Bittersweet sometimes.
Got it.
And I said the openings, but this ending's fun. The ending has a very fun vibe. It's very jet set radio vibe.
Don't you dare.
Sorry,
don't you dare give me hope.
Very catchy.
And with that, I guess that's a baseball. There it is. There you got to tie it, an anime reference. Because it's only the third time I think I brought up JoJo this episode. All right, gentlemen.
Wait for the quote. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the check.
There you go. Thank you. Now ready for part 8. Part 7's happening, by the way. Woo!
Yeah.
The famous part 7.
Let's see how the horses get animated. According that's what the internet says.
All right. Yeah, it's gonna be CG like every other horse is. Which, and sure, Bakugo, don't they make that reference and point? I think so.
Yeah. Well,
some anime about anime. Anyway. All right, gentlemen. So that is it. That is our 9 anime previews this season. Gentlemen, that means, once again, only 3 guaranteed pass for each one of us. And, of course, then we have our little bit of voting round to see what will get that elusive 4th spot. But first, I guess, gentlemen, let's go and start with our bottom, our show that sadly will not make it for one reason or another. And I'll get us start us off with my third this season. And sadly, somewhat sadly, maybe question mark. My third place loser is not Fuuka, or AKA can a boy and a girl friendship survive?
Yay.
Yeah.
But you've been watching for telenovela nonsense though.
Well, that's the thing. If I knew for a fact it was going to be super over the top and dramatic and something of this nature, perhaps I could see myself getting to second, maybe even first place. But because nothing was guaranteed and I don't have too much faith in this setup, next time if it comes out swinging and there's murder and a secret child and adoption papers and this and that, maybe
Or like an
evil twin brother sibling, perhaps
like Robin Hart. One gets in the coma. And waits 10
coma
years
for a decade. Yeah, that's what I need. Best friends falling in love. That's the drama I'm looking for. And she also has blue hair. Oh, there you go. So that's the better not Fuuka show to watch. So sadly, that's where that will end up the season. It will not get the opportunity to get the official pass nor the second chance. For you, Frank, what is going to come in dead last for you?
The
loser, Frank. The worst of the worst.
Teogonia.
Oh.
It was not bad. It's just it's not at the level of the other two.
Okay.
You can clearly tell the other ones are like 5-star recruits.
They got the 5 stars.
They got the A rank and you got the S rank.
Those are the pools you're looking for.
Yeah, that's not a first round pick. This is
First round pick.
This is gonna get the Stuart Sandor.
As soon as he said he was gonna bring it up. I was gonna beat me to it too. Damn it! I was gonna get it, but now. Oh,
but
timestamp for the podcast.
I will finish it. I just can't pick it over the other two.
Yeah, I might. And for myself, I might go back to not Fuuka as well. We'll see. I guess that leaves to Miles. Miles, what's the stinker? What's the third place winner? Who's taking home the bronze? I love these are the worst shows this season. Here's the bronze.
Yeah, there you go. I guess for me is Assassin and Ninja Under One Roof.
What?
Oh no, the dark comedy's getting the boot.
Because I just don't. If you're not used to it, it's hard. Or used to how Shaft will usually run, you might go like, wow, there's a hidden message in there. You kind of like, oh, that's what it's about. It requires too much thinking, I guess.
All right, so gentlemen, now we're so our winners this season. My favorite show, and that will be getting the full pass and pardon, I guess, to get the full review.
Pardon? What is it?
Yeah, I guess so. It's me and Mr. President. It's Mr. President. It's me, George Sears. More Metal Gear references. Count them up, people. I am going to be passing from the old country Bumpkin to the Master Swordsman.
Because it's our anime.
I'm hoping this will be the anime that breaks the chains of anime cliches and goes, maybe we can have cute girls that aren't so obviously we're selling it because of cute girls, the show.
What? But that's on anime. That's on anime though, bro.
And the fact that it deals with an older guy who isn't like, oh, gee whiz, I don't know how to talk to girls. Is very refreshing.
And Shikamaru.
And he's also he is
tired. I wanted to go home.
He's kind of tired. He's I can relate to this man. I guess I'm an old man at 35 years old. Fuck you, Miles, once again. So yes, that is why the country bumpkin will begin the full pass and be taking home the gold for me. And for a quick reminder, we'll get to it again when we talk about our reviews. And that would mean, of course, the Kowloon generic romance is coming in second place for me and might get take that fourth spot. You have to stay tuned to find out if he'll make it. But now we'll move on to Frank. Frank, what is taking home the gold for you?
I'm just gonna have to give it to Be a Hero X.
Oh.
And simply because I was less confused when I was watching it. With the exception of the opening, I have no idea. Slight edge to Into the Spider-Verse, Into the Bunnyverse.
And that means, was it Moonrise or
Moonrise?
Moon's second place. All right, might make it in that fourth spot. Stay tuned. We're almost there. Miles, it's your turn, brother. What is taking home the gold for you this season?
All right. See, they're also like Frank. I got some another issue here.
I'm curious about the Miles.
Follow your heart, brother.
Did you know that's
Heart
true?
of the card.
What would Yu-Gi-Oh do?
There you go.
He would cheat and pull out the Exodia. That's what he would do.
Yeah, every single time.
Use the
Or
Millennium.
pull just the right card. Just a red card to bail his ass every 5 minutes.
Judge objection that he's just switched character. That's a different person I'm playing. That's a violation. He forfeits the match. And I just won the tournament. Take that, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
I love his name is Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way. His first name's Yugi and his last name's O.
Really?
No, this is the joke. That's
Frank.
and what's the suit and that's the joke. All right, back to you, brother. What are we picking?
I'm going to choose Witch Watch.
Witch Watch. All right, he's going for the shonen jump.
Yeah, I'm going to get to see the Dragon Ball Z.
I could... but like I said, it's very sprinkled in. But you're like, I don't know if they got it's on shown. It's shown up because they can make the they can make the references.
It's always time for an anime
because
reference.
it's like the most. It's like almost like Ichigo 100%, like the most like non.
Ichigo 100%. Now that's a pull.
That's a pull. Like the most like non shonen.
One of the animes I saw made a reference to that. I just remember.
Wait,
that.
What?
It wasn't literally, but it was like strawberries and 100%. And I'm like, is this an Ichigo 100% reference? That was so bizarre. Like I paused the screen and went, what the fuck? What year is
next
it?
thing you're gonna tell me we're gonna talk about Hatsukoi Limited a lot in a hot second.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, yeah. So Witch Watch was gonna win.
Take home the gold.
And then I guess the one that gets in the
that's a baseball taking second place.
Because it's fun. But it requires you to like baseball. If you don't like
that's a baseball. That's a baseball. It goes second place. I'm gonna be using that joke forever now.
Yeah, so that's why it's in second place. So now I guess we're into the bracket, or we're doing the bracket now.
All right, I guess we're doing our little vote. So that is officially I have my Bumpkin Swordsman into Master Swordsman, or butcher that, but you know what I mean. We have what was it? X something, Frank?
I think To Be a Hero X.
To Be a Hero X. So now it is time to discuss who will make it in the loser bracket. And for those who forgot already, that means we have the Kowloon generic romance for me. We have Moonrise from Frank, and That's a Baseball for Miles.
That's a baseball.
That's a baseball. That's what it's called. Headcanon confirmed.
Catcher in the ballpark, smart.
Only if it gets into the second place will we bother remembering it. That's a baseball. All right, gentlemen. So once again, each of us has to vote for something that wasn't their show. And if it comes down to a draw where basically everyone votes for someone else's show and it becomes a 3-way tie, then we just go by popularity. And I guess we'll just go the order we've been doing it. So I will be nice and go first. So for me, that means I have to choose between Moonrise and That's a Baseball. That's a baseball. That's what it's called, right? That's the name of the anime, all right? I do like little short stories about people and their kind of day-to-day lives and stuff, which is, see very often in anime. And I do like baseball, so that's an easy one. Full Metal Alchemist with Gundam, though. There's no mechas, but there's no Char. But we have a Char equivalent, it sounds like. He doesn't have his red Zaku, but we have some evil who's also his best friend, apparently.
Yeah.
That sounds nice and juicy and drama. Good action. Oh, this is a bit of a tough. This is very polar opposite choices here for me.
I know, huh? You want me to go first?
No, I'll do it. I'll stick to it. I might kick myself, but I'm gonna go for probably the more blockbuster of the two. And I am going to go with the Moonrises, was it? Moonrise, okay. That's my vote for the spring of 2025
that's baseball.
And that's it for Let's see what happens. But
I'm still going to watch regardless of what you guys say. So yeah.
We'll see what happens. Frank, that means it's your turn. What would you choose? Would you like my Kowloon generic romance, which is such a lie of a name? Or That's a Baseball?
Well, I mean, when I saw the picture of yours, I'm like, oh, it'll be boring.
It's a slow burner, I'll say that.
And then Miles was describing his, and it seems to be like kind of a comedy-ish, right?
Yeah,
a little.
It's comedy,
lightheartedness at least.
It's more slice of life than comedy. I would say there are comedic bits, but it's like they go baseball. How does baseball work?
And I like that it's about baseball, but it's more about what's around the baseball game. That's interesting to me, and yours confused me as much as Ava confused me.
Oh, it's confusing. Let me tell you. Let's hear it, Frank. What's gonna take home vote? Looks kind of silver / gold. All right. Well, I guess 1 point for me. All right, one for.
I like it if I didn't say it. Just like
The only good thing is, Miles, apparently you are the chosen lucky one because your vote will sway us. We will not have a tie because mathematically it's just not possible. The 3-man crew. So who is going to take home? It's the powers in your hands. Unlimited power, brother. Who's going to take home that 4th elusive spot? Will it be the Kowloon generic romance or Moonrise? Bum, bum, bum. More Jeopardy music playing.
I'm going to say an end day.
Space or a mystery?
I'd rather go for the mystery.
Oh, what an excellent choice you have there, brother. I love
because I see enough Ava and Ava-ish shows.
He's hoping for the big payoff
because it sounds like it could pay off really good in a sense like this show was really about and everything else. Though there's more layers in the show before you go in.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I don't think the Moonrise is bad.
It's the worst anime of all time. Just admit it.
But it's just that with context that Frank provided, along with facts of Netflix.
That's my part. My fault.
You should not say Netflix, Frank. That's your downfall.
Well, I shouldn't say baseball, so we both like an eye for an eye for an eye. So
I don't think I said Netflix.
What'd you say about baseball? Fuck you. You win.
I don't remember.
He'll remember that.
Miles remembers.
Miles will remember that. Well, there you go. Apparently, I am the victorious winner already this season.
And also, when's the last time you seen any 90-ish old school nonsense around here?
Like I said, if you love that old school design.
Remember Attack on Trains?
Attack on Trains. Attack on Trains. That show had production.
I think Ray cried to have it opening.
That opening's also fucking amazing. This one's okay.
I don't hate it. I mean, Ray did sell it. So.
Well, I
do my best.
According to the internet, Witch Watch is probably the best one because they got the One Piece people on it.
Oh yeah, so your Witch Watch, you mean?
Yeah.
I guess out of curiosity, who would have if the popularity vote?
Last time I checked, I think it was Black Butler.
That wasn't nominated on our podcast. I think I actually would have won if we're going by popularity on the famous Mao.
Oh, that's funny.
Then I'm a triple winner. Anyway, I take home the crown.
Is that one the most popular?
I think so. Out of our second place winners. But anyway, let's go with that. But anyway, the official. So now for the official down the line in coming otaku history.
Right out of Chronicles.
We're gonna have the double feature for me with the Kowloon generic romance, which is still lying.
Can't Stop Winnie Ray.
And it's such a kind of a weird name, from Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. I just feel like Country Bumpkin.
Sword Shikamaru.
Yeah, starring Shikamaru basically. We have the not to be. What is it again? To be a Hero X. I just want to call it Mega Man X. And we have That's Not a Baseball, a.k.a. Witch Watch for Miles, coming up later on in this very podcast. So make sure you like, subscribe today, and that's why when it comes, you'll be ready to go. And we'll have that for you as soon as we can towards the end of the season, which would be in, I think, June, July.
Something around there, yeah.
Around that time, in case you want to like a little... mark it on your calendar. That's when that's going to happen. But of course, before we get there, I think we have nothing official in the docket for the podcast next time. But there's a good chance we might go back to last season of the anime choices and do a full deep dive spoiler talk about one of those shows. So if you're interested, once again, like, subscribe today on wherever you listen to podcasts. I almost guarantee you'll find the Taco podcast out there, because we're pretty much on anywhere you can find podcasts.
You also listen to us on YouTube if you really want to.
There's also YouTube, so if you got your YouTube music, which you do get if you have a YouTube Premiere user like myself, you could catch us there. And fingers crossed, still the video podcast is in the timeline, hopefully summer, fall, ultimate, fingers crossed there on that. But we are slowly coming, so you can see all our old man selves. Thanks, Miles. This guy, 30. This old man, 35 years old.
Hey.
Yeah, remember that, Miles. Remember that number, and we'll count the birthday candles on your cake. Let's see.
I know how my birthday candles are. You don't need to tell me how old my birthday candle is.
We'll see if you're an old man or you're just a fucking relic, brother.
Hey, according to Scott Pilgrim,
even older Miles.
Yeah, even older Miles.
Oh yeah. Alrighty, with that, gentlemen, I guess there's sadly nothing to stay tuned. But once again, you're looking for the Switch 2, but possibly in our future, gentlemen. That's happening early June. I'm sure. If we're able to get our hands on it, I'm sure we'll have a full early impressions.
Wait, so when's the knockout game? Is that in July?
July, I believe. It's about a month from release.
Oh, okay.
But yes, so definitely look forward to that in June, assuming once again it shows up on our doorstep and everything works out. Fingers crossed for that. But with that, I guess we'll bid you adieu and hope you guys have a good one, and we'll hear from you in the near future. Until then, bye bye, peoples.